coin toss is about to be conducted by the referee tonight, Gene Forrest. The umpire is Tom Myers. Head linesman Jerry Bergman. The line judge is Bob McLaughlin. The back judge is Ben Tompkins. The side judge is Dean Look. And Fritz Graff is the field judge. Dallas has won the toss, and they want the football. There's very little advantage going either direction here, Hank.
It's really a beautiful night. I really thought that there'd be more trouble here from a weather standpoint here tonight, the way it looked early in the morning, but it cleared up nicely. And it's beautiful here tonight, and the weather is certainly not going to be a factor.
It's a little homecoming for Tony Franklin, the barefooted kicker of the Philadelphia Eagles. He's been a pleasant surprise for them.
Boy, can he massage the ball. He's really got a leg, hasn't he?
Makes me cringe every time he kicks that football with a bare foot. And he says the cold weather is not going to bother him either. And we're happy that the young man is having the degree of success which he is having. And he played, as you know, at Texas A&M. He'll be kicking it off from our right to our left to start the game. The Cowboys have periodically changed their kick return men. Visited with Wade Manning before the game. He's on the injured reserve there for a while. He was back there. Ron Springs, the rookie out of Ohio State, is going to be deep along with Steve Wilson, a free agent for the Cowboys. They're inside the 5, and we hope you enjoy our broadcast here tonight on CBS Radio. We're about to get underway, and Franklin will put it in the air. A sellout crowd on hand as the Cowboys trying to win their 9th, and the Eagles trying to get within one game of the division leader. Brent Musburger is going to be joining us here at halftime this evening. Here we go. Franklin puts the bare foot to the ball and drives it deep to the 5, and it goes into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. It came very close to going out of bounds, in which case it would have been a 5-yard penalty, but it went into the end zone, and the Cowboys argue mildly about it, but it comes out to the 20-yard line. The Cowboys have Roger Staubach at the control. Tony Dorsett is in the backfield along with Robert Newhouse. Newhouse is on a wing. Here's the toss to Dorsett, running left. He's got good yardage. Across the 30, across the 35, across the 40-yard line. And you like to see a football team come out and do what they want to do on the first play of the game.
And I'm going to tell you something. Robert Newhouse, the fullback, number 44, really made a great block on Carl Hairston, number 78, the defensive right end. For that reason, they were able to get around the outside in good shape. They went on a quick count from a double wing formation, which means that Newhouse was about a yard outside of the offensive tackle on the left side. They flipped it outside, and off he went.
Good for 24 yards to the Dallas 44. Now we have split backs and a first down, and Staubach gives to Laidlaw, picks his way over the left tackle across midfield, down to the Philadelphia 48-yard line, and it really looks like the Cowboys know what they want to do. Jerry Robinson, the rookie out of UCLA, who is starting at the inside linebacker in the left spot, made the tackle along with John Punting, the outside linebacker. And Robinson is playing where the great Bill Berger used to play.
And he'll get a lot of business, I'm sure, here tonight, because they think he's a very fine football player, very quick. He's not very big, but a very active performer. This would be an excellent time for a play-action pass, something to try to get a big play on this 2nd and 2.
2nd and 2 from the 48-yard line of the Eagles. Newhouse is back in there. Staubach's back to throw. Hank Stram called it, going for the bomb. Down in the end zone. Touchdown, Tony Hill. Tony Hill got behind the secondary, and on 2nd and 2, Staubach laid it right in his arm.
Boy, it was a perfect throw, and a great time for that kind of a call. It was a play-action pass, making a run to the right. He went back into the pocket, all the time in the world to throw the football, put it right on the shelf, for Tony Hill didn't miss the stroke, right into the end zone, 52-yard touchdown. Dallas Cowboys, and they lead 6-0.
It took a minute and 1 second for the Cowboys to get the TD. Dorsett ran for 24, Laidlaw ran for 8, and Staubach threw for 48, and it's 6-0, and Septien, who has missed 4 extra point tries this year, out of the hold of Danny White, will try to make it 7-0. The snap is good, the placement, the kick, 7-0 Dallas. Very early, only a minute and 1 second has gone by. With the score, Dallas 7, the Eagles nothing. Let's take time out.
Well, that quick drive by the Cowboys could be a definite reflection of Tom Landry's displeasure at the team's performance the past few weeks. He noted the other day in the press that it was not only the poor performance the team had against the Pittsburgh Steelers a couple of weeks ago and then that narrow victory over the Giants at the Meadowlands. He said, our offense has been sputtering all year. We better get it together or we may not go very far in the playoffs if we reach the playoffs at all. Well, they're responding tonight, 1:10, and they've got 7. As we said in the NFC East, it's Dallas 8-2, Washington 7-4, Philadelphia 6-4. The New York Giants, who've been playing very well of late, have won 5 of their last 6. They are at 5-6. St. Louis in the cellar at 3-8, but the Cardinals have been a heartbreak team this year. They very well could have 6 or 7 wins this year, but the fates seem to be against them. In the NFC Central, it's Tampa Bay, the leader, at 8-3. Chicago is second at 6-5, and we'll have more on that division and the West later.
That was the 34th pass caught by Tony Hill this year, his 9th touchdown and his 8th touchdown, and he leads the NFC wide receivers in that department. And now John Shara and Louis Jamona are back waiting for the kickoff from Raphael Septien, and the Eagles will get the ball for the first time, and they have spotted Dallas 7 points. Billy Campfield is the third man back for the Eagles. The deepest man is Shara, and the kick heads to Jamona, who makes a catch inside the 4, back to the 10, to the 15, to the 20-yard line, and did not get to the 25. As the Eagles get the ball for the first time, Ron Jaworski will take over at quarterback. A 19-yard return by Jamona. Wilbert Montgomery and Leroy Harris, the running backs, and what a night for Montgomery to turn it on. They need him.
They sure do, and I'm going to say one thing. I think going into the game, it's going to be very obvious. I would just guess that they would run to their right most of the time here this evening, and they're going to try to do some business on the cornerbacks, both corners, because I think they can throw against Aaron Kyle and Benny Barnes when they do want to throw the football.
From the 24-yard line, a quick pop into the line by the tailback. Montgomery comes across the 25, and he got 2.5. We'll make it 3 yards. It'll make it second down and 7. Irving Martin was the tackler with Thomas Henderson in there, the outside linebacker. Henderson is aching a little bit, but playing.
Yes, and another thing they have to do, Philadelphia, they have to really block Bob Bruning, the middle linebacker. He's playing super, and they're not going to do a good job of running outside, especially if they don't do a good job of blocking him.
Second down and 7 from their own 27 for the Eagles. Jaworski back to throw. Looks and zings it to the sideline, and incomplete, almost picked off by D.D. Lewis, as the ball was intended to Montgomery at the sideline, and Lewis was with him step for step. What a difference it makes when you have linebackers who can run with the running back.
Yes, and D.D. Lewis is very, very active. He's not overly large, but he is very quick, very agile, and really, he should have come up with that interception that time. He's had 2 interceptions already so far this season. One other thing that Philadelphia must do here tonight, they must throw the ball on 1st and 10.
Wide receivers, Charles Smith and Harold Carmichael are to the left. Third wide receiver is in there. It's third down and 7. Jaworski straight back to throw. The blitz is on. He gets rid of it, overthrows his man. Prepley, the tight end, and heavy coverage on him by Randy Hughes. The Eagles couldn't move the ball, and he'll have to kick.
That time they had a slot to the left, which means they had both outside receivers, Carmichael and Smith on the left side. They split Prepley on the right side to get a one-on-one situation with Randy Hughes, but Randy really played it well.
And now the rookie kicker from South Carolina, Max Roniger, who has averaged 39 yards a kick, will get it away from about his 15. Steve Wilson stands back at the 30. Wilson has averaged 7 yards a punt return. This is way high, and a fair catch called for. A dandy punt taken on the 25-yard line by Wilson, and the Cowboys will go from there. We've had 2 minutes and 1 second go by in this game. There's the timeout on the field with the score. The Cowboys 7 and Philadelphia 0.
In the NFC Central, it's Tampa Bay at 8-3. Chicago is 6-5. Minnesota, Green Bay, and Detroit appear out of it. Minnesota and the Packers both at 4-7. And Detroit with the worst record in the NFL, along with San Francisco at 1-10. That is the worst Lions performance since 1948. So that'll show you how bad the Lions are hurting right now. In the West, New Orleans is the leader at 6-5. The Rams continue to struggle. They lost Sunday after blowing a 16-point lead to the Bears. It's the Rams at 5-6, Atlanta at 4-7, and San Francisco at 1-10. So many people in the L.A. area are displeased with the way the Rams are playing. They say, why don't you leave for Anaheim now? Don't wait till next year. In the AFC, the Eastern leaders are New England and Miami, deadlocked at 7-4. The Jets are at 5 and 6, as is Buffalo, and Baltimore in the cellar at 4 and 7.
After a 49-yard punt by Runiger, the Cowboys go from their own 25. And Hank, if they burn the Eagles again very quickly, it might be a long night for Philadelphia.
Well, it could be. And on the other hand, sometimes when you make it that easy, sometimes you have a little sag and you suffer along the way, and the other team gets back in the football game. So it's hard to tell from an emotional standpoint what's going to happen when you do that.
Staubach back to throw on first down, drops it off short to Tony Hill. He is hit and knocked out of bounds at the 29-yard line, and he picked up 4 on the play. Bernard Wilson was covering, and it'll be second down and 6. John Fitzgerald, the center for the Cowboys. Herbert Scott and Tom Rafferty are the guards. Pat Donovan and Jim Cooper, the tackles, with Billy Joe Dupree, the tight end.
You know, from a passing standpoint, I think the Cowboys will throw in front of Bobby Howard and try to throw deep on 46 Edwards like they did early in the ballgame. I think basically that would be their scheme from a passing standpoint.
Out of the I formation and in motion, Drew Pearson. The give to the tailback, Tony Dorsett. He moves across the 30-yard line and out near the 32. He's tackled there, and it's going to be 3rd and 3. He ran into the middle guard, Charlie Johnson first. Claude Humphreys playing up front with Johnson and Carl Hairston. Punting and Robinson, LeMaster, and Wilkes are the 4 linebackers. Bobby Howard and Herman Edwards on the corners. Randy Logan and Bernard Wilson are the safety men for the Eagles. 3rd and 3, Dallas. Going from our left to our right. 11:50 left in the first quarter, and the Cowboys on top, 7-0. Drew Pearson to the right. Jay Saldi is in as a wide receiver. They run out of the double wing of the shotgun, motion by Ron Springs. Here's a handoff, inside handoff to Dorsett, running right. Moves across the 35, did not get to the 40-yard line, but he has a first down. A little inside reverse off the double wing. These Cowboys can throw a lot of formations and a lot of plays. That gets a first down for Dallas at their own 39.
Yes, that time they did send a man in motion, but they did it from the spread formation. The ball went right back to Staubach, who handed it forward to Dorsett, who came running around the outside with both guards pulling, and he made the yardage for the first down. A nice looking play from the spread formation.
He's carried 3 times for 33 yards, and that's the number he wears. Dorsett splits in the backfield with Newhouse, and then goes back into the tailback spot out of the eye. Motion by Drew Pearson. Here's a give to Newhouse. Moves across the 40, out to the 42-yard line. Got 3, and Claude Humphrey tackled him there. Boy, when they gave that inside handoff to Dorsett a while ago, he had some blockers out in front of him, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Both guards were pulling. We had good depth in the backfield, and he knew exactly what he had to do. He had to make the first down. He didn't try to do anything fancy. He just took to the outside, saw some running room, took advantage of it, made the yardage.
Dorsett in the tailback spot. Scott Laidlaw is in there with him now. Second down and 7 from their own 42 for Dallas. Out of the eye. Staubach starts Drew Pearson in motion, tosses to Dorsett, running left, and a hit at the 40-yard line and tackle for a loss of 2 yards on the play by Randy Logan, the safety man, who came up and met Dorsett at the line of scrimmage. And you have to do that sort of thing. You have to stick your nose in there if you're going to stop him. Once he gets rambling, he's a handful.
Yes, that's right, and they got good leverage on him that time. He had no cutback opportunity whatsoever from the I formation. They maintained good angles on the running back Dorsett. For that reason, he couldn't go outside, couldn't get back inside, and it's a beautiful play defensively by Randy Logan.
And now Saldi is in as a wide receiver. Springs is in the backfield, and out of the shotgun, the double wing, Staubach back to throw. Under pressure, steps up, runs out of the pocket across the 40. Tackled from behind and dropped beyond the 45-yard line. Short of a first down on the 3rd down carry. Apparently short. Well, we'll have to wait and see what kind of forward progress they gave him. He looks like he might be short about 6 inches after the tackle by Carl Hairston.
Yeah, it all depended on how they marked it. It looked like you're right, Jack. I thought he was just a fraction short. But when they got through marking it, it's hard to tell. Let's wait and see what happens.
9:16 left in the first quarter. And Staubach made it. It's a first down at the Cowboys' 48-yard line. A lot of people wonder about that rule, Hank. It's where the ball is when your knee touches the deck.
That's right. A lot of people have the mistaken impression that it's where your knee hits, but it's where the ball hits. This would be a good time for a pass here, a play-action pass, especially on 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at their own 49 for the Cowboys. Split backs, Newhouse and Dorsett. Motion by Drew Pearson. tight ends are in there. They give to Newhouse a big hole. He dips it outside, all down from behind after getting to the Philadelphia 48. He couldn't outrun Frank Lemaster. And a good thing for the Eagles that Lemaster had that kind of speed.
Yes, that's right. And Dorsett did a pretty good job that time of blocking a linebacker on the play. They were soft on that side. And when I say soft, I mean they're loose and off the ball. And they got off the line of scrimmage in good shape and made a good chunk on the play.
8.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Second down and 6 from the Philadelphia 48 for Dallas. Staubach sets his club. Split backs. And he gives to Dorsett. Running right, trying to get outside. He does. He gets to the 40. He is out of bounds at the Philadelphia 39 and has another first down. And Dorsett showing that great quickness and speed. Two different departments. He's very fast and also very quick.
One of the toughest things in the world, the defense, is speed. There's no way in the world you can defense against it. And there was a great illustration. Randy Logan from the strong safety position came up nicely, was in a good tackling position, had a good angle, had a good shot at him. But by the time he made the effort, Dorsett was gone and around the outside, and he had no chance to make the play.
Tony Hill left, Drew Pearson to the right. The tight end, Dupree, on the right, and Saldi on the left. On a first down play, and Dallas reeling it off in big chunks. They lead 7-0, and they're on the move. And Staubach back to throw on first down. In trouble, he is sacked. He is sacked for a loss of about 3 on the play. John Punting, the first man to get to him, the outside linebacker, and a flag is down. The first flag of the night. And now we don't see a flag. And it'll be second down. Second down and 13. 7:10 remaining in the first quarter. For Staubach, that was the 19th time this year that he has been sacked, a rather ordinary number. And on second down and long, out of the eye, he's straight back to throw. He drops it off short to Dorsett inside the 40. Fumble! Eagles have the ball. Eagles have the ball on the fumble by Dorsett. Coming away was the rookie from UCLA, Jerry Robinson, the number 1 draft of the Eagles this year. They're behind 7-0, and they get the ball at their own 41. 6:45 left in the quarter. And with the score, Dallas 7, the Eagles nothing. Let's take time out.
In the AFC Central, Pittsburgh with the best record in the conference, 9-2. Houston is a game back at 8-3. Then it's Cleveland at 7-4, and Cincinnati out of it at 2-9. But the Bengals have played pretty tough football the past 5 or 6 weeks, and that record could be a lot better than that. They have lost some tough games, including one Sunday in the last minute to San Diego. In the West, San Diego, the leader, with Denver. Both are tied at 8-3. Oakland is now settled down to a 6-5 slate after losing Sunday to Houston. Then it's Seattle at 5-6. And Kansas City, which has now lost 5 straight, is in the western cellar of the AFC at 4-7. So the 3 conference leaders in the American East, it's New England and Miami. In the Central, it's Pittsburgh all alone. In the West, it's San Diego and Denver tied for the spot. In the National Conference, Dallas, the Eastern leader. Tampa, the Central. New Orleans is the pace setter in the West.
You know, Jack, one of the things that was unusual about that play is the fact that one of the few times this season have we seen the initial man who fell on the ball maintain possession and fall on the ball properly. Jerry Robinson, the young rookie from UCLA, number 56, did exactly that. He fell on it. He maintained possession. And as a result, they have the ball 1st and 10.
I know that really irritates when people try to pick it up and run, Hank. You're getting the ball, and that should be enough.
You should be satisfied instead of trying to be a hero, make a big play, and then lose possession. They ought to throw here on 1st and 10. Let's see what they do.
Jaworski has Leroy Harris and Wilbert Montgomery in the backfield in the I formation from his own 41 on first down. Second time the Eagles have had the ball. Jaworski back to throw. Over the middle, Carmichael has it. Overthrown. Aaron Kyle was covering him, and Kyle didn't have any help over there. Late help was coming from Cliff Harris. And Jaworski got the ball airborne for the 6'8 Carmichael, but even then overthrew him.
Well, I don't think he expected a blitz on 1st and 10. That's what happened. They blitzed 2 linebackers on the play. He was a little surprised at that because normally on 1st and 10 they do not blitz that much. Plus the fact on the flex defense they have 2 linemen off the line of scrimmage, so you ought to have plenty of time to throw the ball, and that's what he anticipated on the last play, I'm sure.
Second down and 10 now. Carmichael is to the left. Charlie Smith to the right. Krepley, the tight end, on the right side. Motion by Montgomery. Jaworski rolling right. Looks and throws to the sideline, and Smith cannot get it before going out of bounds. He caught the ball, but was out of bounds. It's incomplete, and it's 3rd and 10. I'll bet that time when he rolled out, talking about Jaworski, that he'll mark that down in his memory bank, and he might run out of that position in the future tonight, Hank.
Well, I'm sure the reason they're rolling, I should say, to the right, they want to make sure that they roll away from Randy White and also Harvey Martin. Those are the two big pass rushers. They want to get away from them, so they roll away from them to the right side, and that's what the idea, I'm sure, is as far as the game plan is concerned.
Philadelphia has run the ball only once. They've thrown 3 times, and on 3rd and 10 from their 41, Jaworski, a long count, is back to throw. The pressure considerable, and he is sacked back at the 35-yard line. He was sacked by Bruce Thornton, the rookie out of Illinois. They played a game, and they were looping on the line, and Thornton got loose.
Yes, and Harvey Martin was coming from the right end all the way over in the middle area, but Thornton got a good shot, made the contact, made the hit, and it's a kicking situation for Philadelphia. But it's tough to throw the ball on obvious passing situations against Dallas. Boy, they are really tough.
27th time Jaworski has been sacked. Steve Wilson waits for the Max Roniger punt. Dallas likes to go after that kicker. No first downs for Philadelphia in 2 possessions. No pressure, and Roniger's kick is high, sailing to the 16-yard line. Taken there by Wilson. He's back to the 20 and tackled out of bounds at the 25-yard line of Dallas. Steve Wilson bumped out by Mark Slater, an offensive lineman for the Eagles, and Dallas gets it for the 3rd time, a 47-yard punt, an 8-yard return. There is a flag down back upfield, and the Eagles evidently are going to get the ball back, and it might have been holding against Dallas. That was the original sign from Gene Barth, the referee. Defensive holding, and let's listen to the referee. Well, his PA mic is not working too well. It was defensive holding, a first down to the Eagles' 41, the original line of scrimmage prior to that sack. Dallas was holding, and that's the first down for Philadelphia. Out of the I formation. Jaworski gives a fake, and he throws it out to his fullback, Harris. He got only 2 yards on the completed pass out to the 43, covered by Bob Bruning, the middle linebacker.
You know, a lot of people, I think, hear a lot about the flex, but I don't think they fully understand why they call it the flex. Really, the flex defense is basically a defense that they like to use a lot with the anticipation of expecting a run on 1st and 10. For that reason, they put 2 linemen a little bit off the line of scrimmage, about 3 feet off the line of scrimmage, and they expect them to be able to flow and pursue well from those positions. And for that reason, throwing on 1st down against Dallas with the 2 men off the line of scrimmage usually is very effective if you can pass block the other people.
Charlie Smith to the left, Harold Carmichael to the right. And on 2nd down and 8, Jaworski is back to throw. And pops it over the middle. Incomplete. And a hit made on the intended receiver by Randy Hughes. He tried to hit Keith Krepley, his tight end, and it'll be 3rd and 8. Those defenders of Dallas are staying right on the backs of the Philadelphia receivers.
Yes, Randy Hughes did a good job that time of covering Krepley on the play. Now they have the 6 defensive backs in the ball game, and it'll be interesting to see what Philadelphia tries to do here.
We hear varying reports about Randy Hughes. Some say he's quite good. Others say you can work on him.
Well, I think you can work on anybody if you have the time. That's the trick, to have the time.
Smith comes to the left. Carmichael to the right on 3rd and 8 from their own 43 for the Eagles.
This would be a good time to run outside to the left because there might be a blitz and it could be a big play.
On 3rd down, Jaworski's back to throw. He's in trouble. Unloads, and Carmichael caught the ball. Caught the ball at the 41-yard line of Dallas in heavy traffic. And a Philadelphia first down, and what a grab by the big guy who set the record last week of catching at least 1 ball in 106 games in a row. Cliff Harris was covering very heavily, But Carmichael made a tremendous catch.
Made an unbelievable catch. They were all over him like wallpaper on the wall that time, but he made a fantastic catch coming in. And Philadelphia has a 1st and 10. They've been throwing a great deal on 1st and 10. See if they do it here again on the 1st and 10 situation.
They're at the Dallas 41-yard line, and a first down call. The blitz is on, and Jaworski unloads, and it's caught at the 33 of Dallas by Big Carmichael. And the tackle made by Benny Barnes, and the receiver almost broke loose, and he would have gone for a score, but Barnes held on for dear life, and Jaworski beat the blitz.
Yes, exactly right. Now, Dallas is anticipating the fact that they're throwing a lot on 1st down, so they're blitzing on 1st down, which is something they don't really like to do. And you like Reedy as a quarterback, if you can pass block against the blitz, you'd like for them to blitz on every single play because you've got a great opportunity. You got one-on-one, you got a great opportunity for a big play.
2nd down and 2 in the I formation. A toss to the tailback, Montgomery trying to get outside and cannot. He is tackled for a loss by Randy Hughes, and he smelled that one out.
Yes, he did, and they ran. Really, had they run inside to the right that time, the end was off the line of scrimmage. They really had a good chance to make some yardage, but they tried to go outside. They reacted extremely well to what they saw. That is Dallas I'm talking about defensively. And Randy Hughes specifically really came up and made a great play.
3rd down and 6 now, back at the 37 of Dallas, and that might hurt the field goal chance of Philadelphia on this possession. The loss on that play. Charlie Smith to the left, Harold Carmichael to the right. Benny Barnes covering Carmichael. He'll get help. And Jaworski back to throw. They're coming after him. He gets rid of it in a hurry. Carmichael can't get it incomplete. He was wrestled by Benny Barnes. Bruce Thornton was all over the quarterback and blasted Jaworski as he threw it. They're really coming after him.
Yes, they really are. And really, he has to change the tempo a little bit by changing when he does throw. On the obvious passing situations, boy, it's really tough to throw against Dallas. Somewhere along the line, he's got to run outside where they're blitzing inside. It could be a very big play, run a trap, run a quick screen, something to keep the Dallas defense guessing and not let them anticipate passing from the pocket on the obvious passing situation.
Here's a 53-yard field goal attempt. A high snap. Shara gets it down. The kick by Franklin is off to the left, and no good. A flag goes down. We'll check the flag. And it's going to be against Dallas again. Offside, Dallas. And that'll make it 4th down and 1 for Philadelphia. 53-yard attempt missed by Franklin. Dallas offside, allowing the Eagles to keep the ball for at least one more play and give Franklin another chance at it. Franklin this year in field goals, his rookie season is 13 out of 17, 51 yards his longest.
I surely wouldn't kick in this situation. I'd go for the 1st down. I'm sure that's what they will do.
They're going to do.
Yep.
It's going to be 4th and 1 from the Dallas 32. If it were 4th and 1 and a very easy field goal, you might take that one.
Yes, that's right. But here, the field position is such where they're not going to be too damaging in the event they don't make the 1st down. But they got to make the 1st down here to keep this thing going. Looks like they're going to run to the right.
John Dutton is in there for Dallas. The give is to Harris, and a fake, and the pass. And Carmichael caught it, and it's a touchdown for Philadelphia. They turn a Dallas offside penalty into a touchdown on 4th and 1. A good fake to Harris, and the pass play, 32 yards for Philadelphia to Carmichael. And that's his 6th touchdown of the year. You love that, don't you?
Oh, it was super. Great looking play, a terrific call. But in this kind of a game, you got to do something unorthodox. You have to do something special. That was really a great call. It was an off-balance call. They didn't expect that. And Jaworski threw it right on the shelf perfectly to Carmichael. And anytime you get the ball close to him, especially in a one-on-one situation, you're going to win.
Tony Franklin ties it up, 7-7 with 3:12 left in the first quarter. Looks like we've got a good one. A pause in the action, and let's take time out.
That was a great selection by Ron Jaworski. Everybody was bunched in at the line, and as soon as the ball was snapped, everybody on that line was coming, and it just froze the linebackers, and Carmichael got into that secondary, and at 6'8.5", when you can get the ball to him, it's like throwing it into a closet. Nobody else is going to get it except him, and he picked it off at the 6, and he just waltzed on in with 2 Dallas Cowboys draped over his shoulders. But he had enough momentum to carry himself into the end zone. A fine call by Jaworski. And it may be that Tony Dorsett was right. On Sunday, he was asked about the game coming up with Philadelphia. He said all the ingredients are there, we think, for a high-scoring ball game. Well, thus far, it's not a high-scoring game, but both teams are on the board in the first quarter, and that could mean we're in for a lot of point production at Texas Stadium in Irving. The schedule for next Sunday in the NFL is pretty interesting. There are a couple of big games that we'll talk about the next time out.
Philadelphia Eagles gambled and it paid off. Tony Franklin missed a 53-yard field goal try. Dallas was offside. It then became 4th and 1 at the Dallas 32. It was a great fake to Leroy Harris, who hurdled over the line. And then the touchdown pass of 32 yards to Carmichael, who dragged the defender into the end zone from the 5-yard line. Steve Wilson and Ron Springs are back for the Cowboys to receive the kick from Tony Franklin. We're tied 7-7. 3:12 left in the first quarter. A high kick should be well covered. Springs takes it on the 6. He's to the 10, up the middle, and tackled shy of the 20-yard line. At the 17-yard line, Ron Springs was knocked down in a big hurry by John Shara.
Boy, Shire really did a good job of covering the punt and making the tackle. Good tackle, put his arms around him, and put him right on his back.
And Louis Gimono was down there as well. So the Cowboys are at their own 17. Newhouse in the backfield with Dorsett. Hill and Drew Pearson, the wide receivers. Newhouse picks his way up the middle across the 20 to the 25-yard line, got 7 yards. I haven't seen Dallas play every game, but Newhouse looks better tonight than he's looked all season long.
Well, he got off the ball well that time, and it was a counter play. They try to get the linebackers to move laterally and then run behind him that time. Newhouse took a step to his right, then came back to the left side, anticipating the linebackers going beyond the play, cut back nicely, and made a nice gain on the play.
7 yards, 2nd down and 3 from the 25 for Dallas. Laidlaw is the fullback now. And Laidlaw gets the ball, stumbles, drives to the 28-yard line, very close to a first down. He might well have made it. Looks from here as though he did. Claude Humphrey, the defender, Carl Hairston, the 2 defensive ends, and the 3-man front. First down for Dallas.
Good takeoff on the left side of the line at that time. Pat Donovan, Herbert Scott, John Fitzgerald, the center. They all got off the ball, had good movement, and for that reason, he was able to pop through there and make the necessary yardage for the first down.
They've got some Irish names up front. Fitzgerald, Scott, Rafferty, Donovan, and Cooper.
He could never play at Notre Dame.
Out they come with the tight end, Dupree, on the right side. On first down, here's a toss to Dorsett, a reverse to Drew Pearson, running to the left. He's back to the line of scrimmage to the 32 and sucked down there. He got about 4 yards, but he paid for that. Charlie Johnson was the first man to get to him, and I didn't see who it was who contained it from going outside, Hank, but it was a great defensive play by the Eagles.
Yeah, LeMasters was out there, too. Frank LeMasters, the right linebacker, the right inside linebacker, had good leverage on the outside. It was a very slow developing thing, and really the field position for that kind of a play was really not very good.
You don't like it from that deep down?
No, I like it closer to the 50 or 50 going in. From this part of the field, there's a chance that you can lose some yardage on the play. It's like a punt return a little bit, Jack. It's either feast or famine. You can either make it go well or you lose some yardage on the play, and in this particular case, they almost lost the receiver.
Charlie Johnson is injured on the play, the Philadelphia Eagle player. He's being tended to. When we resume, it'll be 2nd and 6 Dallas from their own 33. Remember, CBS is your #1 radio network for sports. Throughout the year, you get scores and schedules, play-by-play and features. And every weekday, there are 3 editions of Sports Time with Brent Musburger, Ron Weber, and Spencer Ross. Keep up with sports. Keep tuned to the CBS Radio Network. And Brent Musburger will be joining us here at halftime this evening. Ken Clark replaces Charlie Johnson at the nose guard position. And Johnson still has not left the field. Dallas has rushed for 77 yards on 12 carries so far. The Eagles have run the ball only twice, -2 yards.
Well, we talked about the fact that they probably would go into the game with the anticipation of throwing the ball a great deal, and especially on first down, and that's exactly what they've tried to do, and it's a very intelligent approach because you have to make Dallas come out of that pattern of playing their flex on 1st and 10, trying to stop the run. You got to throw the ball first. on 1st and 10, and that's exactly what they've done, and they'll be very successful doing it. And if Dallas continues to blitz a lot on 1st down, they're going to read that well, and they could come up with some big plays.
They're still tending to Charlie Johnson. By the way, this is the start of a heavy schedule for the Cowboys. They're playing here tonight on this Monday night. They play next Sunday at Washington. Then they're back here on Thanksgiving Day against Houston. So if they weather that storm and come away with some wins, they're 8-2 now. They should be in great shape for the championship of the division. Meanwhile, the Redskins, I'm sure, are rooting for the Eagles tonight.
Yes, they're desperately rooting for the Eagles, and that doesn't happen very often, but they're doing it tonight.
Hank, you don't hear many forecasts as to what records are going to be necessary to get into the playoffs. Some say that a nine-win season, 9-7 in the NFC, will get you in as a wild card, but it's really very early to even speculate as to the playoff teams are going to be.
Yes, it's really exactly that, Jack. There's so many teams that are bunched up and still have an opportunity with 5 games remaining. A lot of people think, well, after playing 11 games, 5 games isn't very many, but it really is as far as the races are concerned.
And they're still tending to Charlie Johnson, and that's a shame because the length of time indicates it might be a serious injury, and we're sorry to see that. You would have to say, I guess, that Tampa Bay is about the best spot of anybody for the playoffs at this juncture.
Yes, they definitely are, but Chicago is still hanging in there tough. They won 3 consecutive games. Jim Finks, I'm sure, is very happy. And, of course, Neil Armstrong and the Chicago people, but they have a right to be because they really turned that thing around when it looked like they were in the soup, so to speak. But they won the last 3, now they're 6-5, and only 2 games behind Tampa.
And, you know, and they could end up with 5 games left. They could end up at 500. They could end up 8-8, and the Bears could get hot and win out. New Orleans and the Rams have quite a battle going, with New Orleans leading by 1 game right now. Also, Davis, the head trainer of the Eagles, has his man on his feet right now, and Charlie Johnson is walking back to the bench under his own power, and that's great to see, and hopefully he'll be well enough to come back into the game.
You know, back to the race again. For example, with 5 games remaining, Seattle is 5-6. They could win 5 games. They're playing 5. They could win 5. For example, it'd be very tough to do that, but they could wind up 10-6, which would be very impressive. But I just illustrate that because I think it's important to realize, fans around the country, that this thing is a long, long way from being over with 5 games.
Second down and 6 from their own 33-yard line for the Cowboys as we resume now. Dupree, the tight end, on the right side. It's Laidlaw in the backfield with Dorsett. And Staubach back to throw. Dumps it off to Laidlaw. It's going to be a first down. He's at the 40. Tackled at the 45-yard line. They let him out of the backfield, and no one around him. And Staubach laid it to him. The tackle by Randy Logan.
That time they were so concerned about trying to cover Dorsett, who was anchored in the left flat. They wanted to make sure that he didn't get the ball. They made sure he didn't. But Staubach threw the ball to the guy who was open. In this case, Laidlaw, he was really wide open, and another big play for Dallas.
Less than a minute remaining in the first quarter, 45 seconds. The score is tied 7-7. Dallas first down at their own 45. Tony Hill leaves the lineup now for the Cowboys.
And Staubach is 4 for 4 for 64 yards and a touchdown. Safety throws here on 1st and 10.
Johnson is in there. Here's a toss to Dorsett, running left at the 45. He's bumped out of bounds at the 47. Went to the short side of the field and no place to go. And bodies tumble, including an official along the sideline. And one of the officials is shaken up on the play.
There was another great illustration of how important it is to have speed. Reggie Wilkes, 51, the right outside linebacker, came across the line of scrimmage and looked like he was going to make the play, but right about the time he thought he was going to make the play, Dorsett saw the seam inside, took it, and got inside without making a loss on the play. It looked like he was going to lose yardage, but he wound up making 2.
And the line judge is shaken up over there. Bob McLaughlin, I think it was. He got nailed. There was no place to go along the sideline in front of the Dallas bench. And he really got creamed.
We had a shot in the game yesterday in Detroit where an official got it in the back. I was afraid he wasn't going to get up, but he bounced up in good shape, which means that they are in good shape to do these games for the National Football League.
Yeah, you couldn't walk off the street and stand around out there in the field without getting hurt.
You talk about flak jackets, they ought to have some.
It's second down and 8 now from the Dallas 47 as Dorsett ran for 2. Pearson is to the right. Dupree drops off the line. Now gets up as a tight end. on second down. Drew Pearson goes in motion. Staubach hands off to Dorsett, running right, trying to get outside. Can't tackle, no gain on the play. He might have gotten a yard. Bobby Howard, the cornerback, refused to give way, forced the play very well with the help of the linebacker, John Punting. And now we have 19 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Third down and 7 for Dallas from their own 48. Score tied 7-7. Dallas scored on a 48-yard touchdown pass to Tony Hill. And then a 32-yard touchdown pass to Harold Carmichael. And we have a tie score. Out of the shotgun now. The short punt or the double wing. Here's Staubach back to throw.
Dorsett could really be open.
And he is sacked back inside his 40-yard line. And Staubach is sacked for the second time tonight. First in there was Lem Burnham, the defensive end. And he got to Staubach, and Danny White will have to punt.
He was trying to hit Dorsett, who was stationed and anchored at the double wing position outside, on the left side, outside of the offensive tackle. Trying to hit him deep, but didn't have time to do so.
And Dallas will have 4th and 15 from their own 39. They'll be punting when we start the second quarter. That's the end of the first period with the score. Dallas 7, Philadelphia 7.
Some of the interesting games coming up next Sunday on the NFL card. We'll find the Pittsburgh Steelers at the San Diego Chargers, a West Coast game, and of course that's a division of meeting of two powerhouse teams in the AFC. Pittsburgh with a record of 9-2, and San Diego with a record of 8-3. And of course, it pits two of the really fine quarterbacks in pro football, and both physically very similar. Terry Bradshaw, big, mobile, a great passer. Same with Dan Fouts. Big, mobile, can run, can throw the football a long, long way. That should be quite a game between the Steelers and the Chargers at San Diego Stadium. Another interesting match, we'll find two fine quarterbacks up at Seattle doing battle. New Orleans at Seattle against the Seahawks. Archie Manning against Jim Zorn, the lefty thrower. That should be an offensive battle. The New York Giants are at Tampa Bay, and it'll be interesting to see if the Giants' magic can keep going. They have looked very, very good over the last 6 weeks. They've won 5 of their last 6 ball games after losing their first 5. And the only loss in that period was that last-second loss to Dallas 2 weeks ago on a last-second field goal. Otherwise, the Giants would have won 6 in a row. So the Giants at Tampa Bay, and they'll be trying to cool off a very tough Tampa Bay Bucs team headed up by the fine coach John McKay, who won so many championships with Southern California and now is doing a fine job keeping the Bucs right up there.
Hank Stram, you said it earlier, perhaps that first Dallas score did come too easily.
Yeah, sometimes that's, it's great to have it. It's good and it's bad, because it's good to get the points early, but sometimes you fall asleep and it gets tougher and tougher. You think it's going to be the easy game, and it never is that way. No such thing as an easy way to win. Danny
White has averaged 42 yards a kick, and he kicks it to John Shara. Shara takes it on the 18. He's back to the 20, breaks the tackle, gets to the 25, to the 30-yard line, stumbles and falls at the 31. White's second in the league in punting, got off a 43-yard kick that time. He's second to Jennings of the Giants. A 14-yard return by Shara gives the Eagles the ball at their own 31. We're starting the second quarter now.
It'll be interesting to see now whether Dallas continues to blitz on first down, and if they do, it would be very wise for the Philadelphia Eagles to keep both backs in and just throw individual patterns to the outside receivers, because they'll have one-on-one if Dallas continues to blitz.
Larry Barnes is in the backfield with Wilbert Montgomery. And on first down, Montgomery runs to the right, cracks back up the middle, and gets only a yard. He really ran into a stone wall. Harvey Martin first there. Randy White's playing up front with him, along with Dave Stalls and Larry Cole. Thomas Henderson, the linebacker, with Bob Bruning and Dede Lewis. Cornerbacks are Benny Barnes and Aaron Kyle, and the safety men are Randy Hughes and Cliff Harris. They're still playing without Charlie Waters.
Still very obvious, when they do run, they're going to run to their right. They're going to run at Larry Cole and Dave Stalls instead of running on the other side to Randy White and Martin. Shows a lot of intelligence.
Montgomery got 2 last time, and here is a give to Montgomery. He gets only 1. Hit smack at the 35-yard line by the middle linebacker Bob Bruning and Dede Lewis. And it's going to be 3rd down and 7 from their own 35, and the Eagles can't move it on the ground, and Montgomery is as good as they come.
Yes, that's right, but he is only good as the blocking that he gets up front, and he didn't have much on the last 2 plays.
Guy Morris, the center, Wade Key, Woody Peoples, the guards, Stan Walters, and Jerry Sizemore, the tackles. Harold Carmichael comes to the right. Charlie Smith, the wide receiver, to the left side. Presley, the tight end, is on the left side. And on 3rd down, Jaworski looks at a blitz, but it's a straight rush. And the pass to Carmichael, he can't quite get it. Beyond the cornerback, Benny Barnes. A real quick pop out there, and Carmichael was about 2 steps away, and Jaworski hurried that a little too much.
Well, he was thinking that there was a bump and run situation. He didn't realize that there was short and long coverage that time. He tried to throw the ball quickly to Carmichael, but there was help behind, and if he wasn't careful, threw it a little bit longer, it would have been intercepted.
Runiger is punting for the 2nd time here this evening, and Steve Wilson is back to receive.
Philadelphia is 1 of 5 on 3rd down situation.
The punt goes to the 27, taken by Wilson, running to the right across the 30, near the 35, and out of bounds at his own 36-yard line. A 40-yard kick, an 8-yard return, 13:19 remaining in the half. Dallas has the ball at their own 36, a first down. And with the score, Eagles 7, Cowboys 7. Let's take time out.
The other games on the calendar next Sunday in the NFL will find Baltimore at New England, Green Bay at Buffalo, Miami at Cleveland. A key game there for both clubs. Miami trying, of course, to hold its share of first place in the AFC East. And Cleveland has to get back on the winning track if it hopes to keep its wild card playoff hopes alive. The New York Jets are at Chicago, where the the Bears have been revitalized of late, winning 3 straight. Detroit will be at Minnesota, 2 teams who are, playing out the string more or less because their chances of making the playoffs, Detroit's are non-existent. Minnesota's very, very slim. Cincinnati will be at Houston, and Houston, of course, appears on its way at least to a crack at the division title or a sure wild card spot. Denver, one of the Western leaders in the AFC, is at San Francisco. Kansas City plays at Oakland, and a big one in the East, a traditional battle, Dallas at Washington, and even if the 2 teams are not in contention, and they both are this year, the fur will fly in that one.
Punt goes to the 27, taken by Wilson, running to the right across the 30, near the 35, and out of bounds at his own 36-yard line. A 40-yard kick, an 8-yard return, 13:19 remaining in the half. Dallas has the ball at their own 36, a first down. And with the score, Eagles 7, Cowboys 7. Let's take time out.
The other games on the calendar next Sunday in the NFL will find Baltimore at New England, Green Bay at Buffalo, Miami at Cleveland. A key game there for both clubs. Miami trying, of course, to hold its share of first place in the AFC East. And Cleveland has to get back on the winning track if it hopes to keep its wild card playoff hopes alive. The New York Jets are at Chicago, where the Bears have been revitalized of late, winning 3 straight. Detroit will be at Minnesota, 2 teams who are, playing out the string more or less because their chances of making the playoffs, Detroit's are non-existent. Minnesota's very, very slim. Cincinnati will be at Houston, and Houston, of course, appears on its way at least to a crack at the division title or a sure wild card spot. Denver, one of the Western leaders in the AFC, is at San Francisco. Kansas City plays at Oakland, and a big one in the East, a traditional battle, Dallas at Washington, and even if the 2 teams are not in contention, and they both are this year, the fur will fly in that one as it always does in the meeting between the Cowboys and the Washington Redskins.
Veterans Day, and a salute to all of the folks in the armed forces. Hope you enjoy our broadcast tonight.
Jack, Dallas has had the ball 9 times on first down so far in the game. They've run 7 of 9 on first down. Let's see what they do here.
It's a first down from their own 36-yard line. Motion by Saldi and a toss to Dorsett, running right, cuts it back, and tackled after a gain of a couple by Jerry Robinson. Robinson rewarded with a start. He took the job away from Tutolo, who had been playing in place of the injured Bill Purkey. And Robinson recovered a fumble earlier this evening, and he's been playing a good game from what we observed.
Yes, he comes very highly recommended. He's an excellent athlete, good quickness, great speed. Not large at this stage of his career, but he's got a good chance to get much bigger, but he's going to be a great player.
Charlie Johnson, injured earlier for the Eagles, is back in there, and that's good news. He's at the nose guard spot. It's 2nd down and 9 from the 37 for Dallas. Split backfield, and Staubach back to throw. Looks and throws. Short, caught at the 49, and the receiver, Tony Hill, goes out of bounds. He caught it in front of Herman Edwards. Of course, if they flirt with Edwards too much, he's picked off 10 in just 3 years plus in his career.
Well, he's a player that is very quick and reacts very quickly to what he sees. For that reason, sometimes a double move is very effective against him. On the other side of the ball, however, Bobby Howard is a fine defensive back, but he plays very soft, deep conscious, hard to get behind him, but easy to throw in front. Hill so far is 3 for 62 yards.
And he got a first down that time to the Dallas 48-yard line. Motion by Hill. Staubach back to throw on first down. Steps up in the pocket and runs out of the pocket and tackled at the Philadelphia 47. He got about 4 yards, and he took a whack as he went down. He couldn't quite decide that time, Coach.
No, he couldn't. And any time that you watch his feet, any time he starts to have happy feet, dance a little bit, you know there's indecision. And that's exactly what happened on the play. He was wise enough, has enough maturity, has enough poise and confidence to just take the ball and get as much out of the play as he possibly could.
He got 4, and it's 2nd and 6 from the Philadelphia 48-yard line for the Cowboys. Cowboys 8-2. Philadelphia trying to get within a game in the standings by beating them here tonight. We're tied 7-7. 11:45 left in a half. And on second down, a give to the up back, and that's Newhouse. Tackled after reaching the 45. It's going to be 3rd down and 3. Reggie Wilkes threw him back. The linebacker. They're using Newhouse a little bit more than they have in the past, and evidently his health has improved considerably. He gives way to Laidlaw at fullback now.
Robert Newhouse just became the 3rd Dallas runner to gain 4,000 yards in a career. The others being Don Perkins with 6,217 and Calvin Hill with 5,009 yards for the Dallas Cowboys.
Newhouse just carried to the Philadelphia 45, making it 3rd down and 3. Actually, 3.5. Here's the 3rd down play. Staubach back to throw. Not much pressure. Steps up, starts to run. Tackled short of a first down at the 43-yard line of Philadelphia by Lem Burnham. Burnham showed good speed because Staubach appeared to have a half a step on him. But Burnham leaped on his back and brought him down. It's 4th down and punting time for Danny White and Dallas.
You have to give this Philadelphia team a lot of credit after being stunned like they were with that 52-yard touchdown pass early in the game to Hill on the first drive. They've really come back and have played terrifically well on defense.
White, on a relatively short punting situation, will be angling for out of bounds. This is his 2nd kick. John Shara is back to receive it. His average 43 yards a kick. He angles for the sideline, kicks it high, and it goes out of bounds. We'll see where they mark it. They mark it at the Philadelphia 15-yard line,
The flag
and
down.
a flag is down. Ineligible man downfield for Dallas, and they'll have to kick it over. Only the 2 outside men can release before the ball is kicked. So the penalties have hurt Dallas here tonight. They've had a defensive holding call. They've had an offside call. Ineligible man downfield. Philadelphia has the choice. They could take it at their own 15 or have them kick it over, and they're going to decline the penalty.
You know, people sometimes wonder why you would decline a penalty like that. And obviously, you know, they have another down to kick the ball. Did you hear the call?
No, the referee's mic is out of whack a little bit. It sounds better than it did, but you still can't pick it up.
And
it was ineligible man downfield.
And I was saying that the reason they decline a penalty is the fact that they are afraid maybe if they give another chance, there might be some kind of a penalty which would provide them with an opportunity to make a first down.
10:18 remaining in the half, and now a timeout. A timeout on the field with the score. Dallas 7, the Eagles 7.
Minnesota cornerback Nate Wright has a cracked bone in his right forearm and will miss the Vikings' remaining 5 games, so he's through for the season. Bud Grant, the coach of the Vikings, said Wright re-injured a previously broken bone while tackling Green Bay's Turdell Middleton on Sunday. Last year, a broken arm against the Oakland Raiders sidelined Wright for Minnesota's final 2 games and the playoffs. John Turner and Bobby Bryant are the Vikings' only regular cornerbacks left on the roster, but Grant said defensive backs Tim Baylor, Keith Nord, and Kurt Knopf could play reserve cornerback if need be. Well, thus far in this ball game, we've had 2 aerial bombs that have lit the scoreboard. The first, very quickly inside the first minute or so, Dallas on a pass from Staubach to Tony Hill, 48 yards, made it 7-0. But Jaworski and the Eagles answered back a 36-yard aerial to Carmichael, and that's where we stand early in the second quarter at 7-7.
Hank Stram and Jack Buck with you from Dallas. The Eagles have a first down at their own 15-yard line. Larry Barnes, the up back. Montgomery, the tailback. Philadelphia would like to get that running game established. They give it to Montgomery, pops it over the middle, and goes out near the 20-yard line for a gain of 5. D.D. Lewis stopped him there. Second down and 5 for the Eagles, and let's pause 5 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS Radio Network.
This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
10 minutes left in the half, clock running. That was the longest run of the night for the Eagles, 5 yards by Montgomery, 2nd and 5. Charlie Smith to the right. Harold Carmichael is split left. Tight end is Krepley on the right side. Jaworski back to throw. He looks, runs. He comes across to the 24-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 1. Jaworski, like Staubach, can get out of the pocket in a hurry. Harvey Martin tripped him up from behind. Jaworski has averaged 3 yards per run. He's a big, strong kid at 6'2 and 195. Out of Youngstown State. You never know where they're going to come from, Hank.
No, that's exactly right. And he's got a lot of enthusiasm. I like the way he plays. He's really one of the very fine young quarterbacks in the league. He's done a great job at Philadelphia.
3rd down and 1. They showed earlier that they will gamble. They gambled on 4th and 1 and threw a touchdown pass. Larry Barnes is in the backfield. Along with Leroy Harris, Montgomery is out. All kinds of mix-ups now. Spagnola, the other tight end, came in, and he hadn't set before the snap of the ball, and the guard moved. And instead of 3rd and 1, it probably is going to be 3rd and 6, and we'll listen to the referee and see if his microphone's any better. Illegal procedure. Woody Peoples, the right guard, pulled before the snap.
That is really tough.
That hurt.
Nothing disturbs you as a coach and as a team more than stopping yourself with that kind of... False start, number 69, offense, 3rd down.
Woody Peoples with a false start makes it 3rd down and 6 back at the 19.
You had the right guy that time, Jack.
Everybody was moving. They just picked on him, I think. Like horses on a merry-go-round. One moves and they all move.
Just like dominoes.
3rd down and 6 for Jaworski. This is when Dallas likes to come after you. They show a 4-man front. Now they show the blitz. Straight rush, Jaworski back to throw. Throws! What a catch for a first down by Charlie Smith. Smith went high, caught the ball, and held on despite the hit by Aaron Kyle. Charlie Smith, who'd caught only 17 passes before tonight, caught that 3rd down heave.
Boy, it was a beautiful catch. It was high. Those are the kind of pass receptions that are very difficult to hang on to. But he sucked it in just like he was turned on the vacuum sweeper that time, Jack, and hung on to it. And it's a nice first down for Philadelphia. And they ought to come right back here and throw the ball again.
8:19 remaining in the half. We're tied 7-all. A first down for the Eagles at their own 29-yard line. Montgomery back in the tailback, takes a toss, runs left, and is tackled in the backfield. Back at the 25 by D.D. Lewis, who fought off the block of the fullback, Larry Barnes, and stopped Montgomery in his tracks.
Yeah, that's tough to run weak side because there's no chance at all to get a crackback on the linebacker with the rules the way they are. And that's exactly what happened. The linebacker was out there, made a great play, and they lose yardage on the play. But really and truly, I would continue to throw the ball, Jack, especially on 1st and 10. Hope that they start blitzing on 1st and 10, keep the backs in, and they'll be able to make some big plays.
2nd down and 13 now for the Eagles, a loss of 3. Philadelphia hasn't rushed for a first down all evening. They have 7.5 left in the half. And on 2nd down, Dallas shows the blitz, and the blitz is on. Jaworski unloads to Carmichael. He dropped the ball incomplete at his own 32. He was jarred by Aaron Kyle just as he got his hands on the ball.
Yes, but even though he dropped the football, that was the right thing to do. He threw the ball right on the numbers. But if they continue to catch him in blitzing situations, they're going to make some big plays. And this is what they have to hope for. They're not going to be able to run the ball consistently well against this Dallas defense. They're going to have to throw the ball and make them play the kind of a game they want them to play by throwing the ball on first down, getting the blitz on first down, and then be able to keep the backs in, throw big plays. And they're going to have some big plays if they follow that scheme offensively.
3rd down and 13 for the Eagles from their own 25. Dallas shows the blitz again with Dennis Thurman, the extra defensive back. It's a straight rush of 4 men. Jaworski back to throw and throws, and it is caught at the 43-yard line. The Dallas players say incomplete, and that's the ruling. Cliff Harris made the hit on Charlie Smith, and the one official came from far off the scene. He was the only one that saw it, and said the pass was incomplete.
Boy, it would have been a fantastic reception. I don't know how he got the ball in there. The way he had pressure that time, he threw it over the top, and he threw it right into the arms. It's hard to believe that he got it in there like he did, but it fell incomplete.
And Ben Tompkins, the back judge, saw it hit the deck. Gave a very definitive call. It's 4th down and punting time for the Eagles. Max Runiger, he'll get it away from his 15. He's averaged 44 yards a kick tonight. This is another good one, and it heads for Steve Wilson back at his 30, calls for a fair catch, and catches it there. Good downfield coverage by Philadelphia after a 44-yard kick. 7:04 remaining as Dallas gets the ball, and they will have a first down at their own 30. With the score, the Cowboys 7, the Eagles 7. Let's take time out.
Very light schedule in pro sports tonight, aside from the NFL game between the Eagles and the Cowboys. One game in the NBA, nothing doing in the National Hockey League, which is quiet. The one lone game in the NBA, Indiana at Utah. At the end of the first quarter, it is Utah 28, Indiana has 26. A bit later on, we'll give you a complete rundown of the standings in both the NBA and the NHL. Alabama has retained its number 1 ranking in the latest Associated Press college football poll. The unbeaten Crimson Tide got 34 of 66 first-place votes to remain just ahead of number 2 Ohio State. The Buckeyes sneaked past Nebraska, which held second spot last week. Ohio State received 14 first-place votes, while the Cornhuskers got 5. Alabama, Ohio State, and Nebraska are all unbeaten. Alabama and Nebraska won very narrow victories last week, while Ohio State rolled past Iowa without any trouble. Alabama won a classic defensive struggle at LSU Saturday night, 3-0.
We get word from the playing field that Roger Staubach has a bruised right thigh, but he's still in there quarterbacking from his own 30. A first down. And 3 backs in the backfield for Dallas. Dupree goes in motion. Staubach back to throw. He throws, completes it, incomplete to Newhouse. Incomplete to Newhouse, handed around his shoe tops, and then dropped the ball. He was being covered by Randy Logan. Left in the half. 2nd and 10, Dallas. Rayfield Wright is in there at the offensive right tackle for Dallas. He's been clamoring to play. Jim Cooper has been holding down that spot. Dorsett, the tailback, takes a handoff, runs to the left, tries to get outside. He can't. He's tackled for no gain on the play. A fine defensive play by the outside linebacker, Reggie Wilkes. It'll be 3rd down and 10. Eagles are tough.
Yes, they are. They responded very well to the counterplay that time, and Reggie Wilkes did not deviate from where he was supposed to be. He stayed right at home, saw the play develop, stayed to the outside, and make a fine open field tackle on Dorsett, and that's hard to do.
The rookie out of Ohio State, Ron Springs, checks in. He was the number 5 draft choice of the Cowboys. He's in the backfield with Dorsett, and Staubach will operate out of the shotgun formation on 3rd down. He takes the snap, he's back to throw, and unloads, and it is incomplete. The intended receiver, Drew Pearson, slipped, fell, and almost caught the ball while on the ground. Dropped it. 4th down, and Dallas has to punt. With 6:11 remaining in the half. Dallas not been really sharp tonight. The penalties, a couple of drop balls. Their running game is not overwhelming.
They started off like gangbusters, and then now they've slowed down to a walk, really, and have not been overly impressive.
John Shara will await the punt of Danny White. The snap is a good one. White kicks it away. It's a dandy kick. Shara is driven back to his 24. It's tackled at the 25, breaks that tackle, gets to the 30, to the 35, to the 40, to the 45, to midfield, cuts back to the Dallas 45, where he's finally stopped. A big play by John Shara. Finally tackled by Aaron Mitchell. A 31-yard return by the Philadelphia receiver, and that should jazz him up, Hank.
Yeah, that's a super him up. Exactly right, Jack. And boy, what a fantastic run. He did all of that on his own. He ran through 2 tacklers right at the point of where he caught the football, and just sheer determination got him upfield. A beautiful return and a great opportunity for the Philadelphia Eagles. And they see if they come right out here on 1st and 10 and throw the ball. They ought to. You got to keep throwing the ball and make them play their kind of game.
Smith and Carmichael both go left. Krepley, the tight end, on the right side. And Jaworski rolls. He's in trouble. Throws, unloads it in. Montgomery caught the ball inside the 35. He's out of bounds for a first down at the Dallas 31. They beat the blitz again. Jaworski unloaded in a hurry. Now he's talking it over with Dede Lewis and Harvey Martin back there. What a catch by Montgomery on the ball thrown behind him.
Yeah, but the nice thing about it is, you see, if they're going to blitz, there's one-on-one coverage. You get the ball off. Boy, you got a chance to make big plays. Running the football against this team, you're not going to get big plays. You're going to get very little ones. You're going to wind up playing that Lawrence Welk offense, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a punt if you're not careful.
Montgomery carried it down to the 31 and then stepped out of bounds. He's in the backfield with Leroy Harris. And on first down, the give to Montgomery running right. Stumbles and dives inside the 30 for a yard. Looked like he might have gone someplace, but his feet went out from under him. Leroy Harris has been with the Eagles long enough now to learn the system, be more effective for them.
And he has been. He's done a good job for them. I think they like him very much. And he's been a great compliment to the running style of Wilbert Montgomery, who coming into this game has caught 22 passes. Harris has caught 15. And, of course, Carmichael, coming into the game, caught 36.
Carmichael goes to the left. Charlie Smith to the right. Prepley's on the right side, and it's 2nd and 8 from the Dallas 29. For the Eagles, going from our left to our right. They're in the I formation. Harris, the up man. Montgomery, the tailback. Here is a delay to Montgomery. He's in trouble. He is tackled for no gain on the play. Running right, he ran into Randy Hughes, who has really been forcing his play defensively.
Yes, but there again, that was a blitz situation. He'd have been wise. He just changed the play at the line of scrimmage, keep both backs in, go back in the pocket and throw the ball. He had one-on-one. He didn't do that. He got down here throwing the football. Now he's run 2 consecutive times, didn't make any yardage on the play. Montgomery has carried 8 times for 3 yards, which is an indication how tough it is to run against that Dallas defense. Maybe they can do it later, but they can't do it now. They shouldn't try to do it
up front with Cole, Stalls, White, and Martin. And it's 3rd down and 8 for the Eagles from the Dallas 29. Score tied 7-7, 4:20 left in the half. Here's the running play again, stacked up by Dallas. Up the middle and a gain of only a yard. Dave Stalls, with the help of Bruce Thornton, stopped the play. And it's 4th down, and Tony Franklin is into the game. The line of scrimmage is the 28. From the 35, Franklin will try a 45-yard field goal to put Philadelphia ahead for the first time tonight. 3:45 left in the half. Shara will spot the ball, gets it down quickly, and Franklin with a bare foot kicks it. No good, off to the left. Franklin had been 13 out of 17, and he missed this one. Playing in his own backyard after playing at Texas A&M. Score remains tied. The ball comes back out to the 28. Cowboys get it there with 3:39 remaining in the half. Score still tied 7-7. Pretty good drive by the Eagles, but it stalled. After the good punt return by Shara, they could do very little. The crowd wants the Cowboys to come alive. Newhouse and Dorsett in the backfield for Staubach on first down. Dorsett goes in motion. The give is to Newhouse. Picks his way over the middle. Goes across the 30 out to the 34-yard line for a gain of 5. And a flag goes down. And the preliminary call, backfield in motion against Dallas.
Talking about how...
Danny White, by the way, is the quarterback.
Talking about how well the Cowboys have played defensively. In the last 6 games, the Cowboys' defense has only allowed 80 points, which is 13.3 average, the lowest in the National Football League.
We told you earlier that Staubach has a bruised right thigh, and Danny White is in there.
Illegal motion, 2 backs in motion at the same time. First down.
2 backs were in motion, Newhouse and Dorsett before the snap.
Little Canadian football, Jack.
Can't do that. 3:33 remaining in the half. 1st and 15, Dallas back at their 23-yard line. Penalties have hurt them. On first down and out of the I formation. Danny White starts Drew Pearson in motion. Tosses to Dorsett, running right, cuts it back, tackled at the 25-yard line, and crunched down in a big hurry by Charlie Johnson, the nose guard. Usually Dorsett's able to extend himself, but not that time. Johnson had him in a bear hug.
Rayfield Wright that time made a good block on Humphrey, but the inside pursuit finally got him, and they didn't do much good on that last play outside.
Only 2 yards for Dorsett. 2nd and 13 from the Dallas 25. 3 minutes left in the half. Ron Springs is in the backfield now for the Cowboys. White back to throw for the first time. Throws it short to Dorsett. He catches it at the 29, tackled immediately. He's back to the original line of scrimmage, and it'll be 3rd and 10 for Dallas. He was covered by Reggie Wilkes. Clock running. 2:35 remaining in the half. What do you think of Danny White as a backup quarterback?
Oh, he's a good one. He's going to be a super quarterback once he gets the opportunity. I'm sure he's the heir apparent. Once Roger leaves the scene, Dallas has been 2 of 5 on third down situations. But he's going to be a good one.
White stands in the shotgun on 3rd down and 10. From his own 29, he is back to throw. Throws quickly, caught by Dorsett for a first down at the 39-yard line. What a perfect throw by White for a first down, and now the 2-minute warning. With 2 minutes left in the half, the Cowboys will have it. First down at their own 39. A pause in the action with a score. Eagles 7, Cowboys 7. Let's take time out.
Back to the college poll. Alabama, Ohio State, Nebraska run 1, 2, 3 in the AP ratings this week. 4th-ranked Southern California collected 12 first-place votes. The final first-place ballot was divided between 6th-ranked Texas, 8th-rated Arkansas, and 9th-ranked Houston, all Southwest Conference squads. In 5th place is unbeaten Florida State, which rises 1 position from a week ago. Oklahoma's Sooners follow Texas in the number 7 spot, while unbeaten Brigham Young rates 10th after Arkansas and Houston. 11 teams take up the last 10 spots. That's because there's a tie for 20th place between Baylor and Tulane. In 11th position is Pittsburgh, followed by 2 Big Ten squads, Purdue and Michigan. Clemson is 14th and Auburn 15th. Rounding out the top 20 are Washington, Wake Forest, Temple, Tennessee, which walloped Notre Dame Saturday, Baylor, and Tulane, which buried Mississippi. Temple and Tulane are new to the top 20, while Tennessee returns after a 1-week absence.
2 minutes left in the half. A couple of injury reports. Jerry Sizemore, the offensive tackle of the Eagles, shaken up. They'll check him at halftime. Roger Staubach has a bruised right thigh. He'll be checked at the half. And Danny White is in there now with 2 minutes remaining in the half. We're 2 minutes of playing time away from hearing from Brent Musburger here this evening.
You know, Frank LeMaster on that last play, number 55, the inside linebacker, really had Dorsett faded pretty well. But Dorsett went to the outside. He was still covered well, but the ball was right on the money by Danny White. A beautiful throw. Had to be perfect, and it was.
White for the year, 10 out of 21. No touchdowns, 1 interception, 1 sack. He's at the controls and back to throw on first down, and throws incomplete, and a lousy throw that time, unless the ball was batted by a Philadelphia defender. Didn't get anything on it, did he, Hank?
No, he didn't. It was just a bad throw. He threw it right into the turf, and Hill really made it look like a shortstop. Caught in the first hop in good shape, didn't he?
Stops the clock with 1:57 remaining in the half. Makes it 2nd and 10 from the Dallas 39. They're going from our right to our left. The East Texas State University Band is forming to perform here at halftime. 7-7 the score. Staubach out with a bruised right thigh. White at quarterback, back to throw. And throws long down the middle, and it is incomplete. Frank LeMaster broke it up, intended for Tony Hill, who caught the touchdown pass earlier, and he came within an eyelash of catching that one. Frequently, they like to blitz those fresh quarterbacks coming into the game, Hank.
Yeah, they like to, but in this particular case, with so few minutes left before the end of the half, they're rushing 3 and dropping back, and that time the plan was very good. LeMaster really had a chance to make that interception. Was at the right place at the right time and just did not make the catch. He should have made it.
Shara, the extra defensive back, is in there for the Eagles. It's 3rd and 10 from the 39, and White's back to throw. No pressure. Steps up, it's batted down and incomplete. One of the big linemen this time, Claude Humphrey, the 6'5" end, got his hands up in the air and batted it down. And with 1:46 remaining in the half, the Eagles will get the ball back.
Yes, and they only had 3-man rush that time. They put a lot of pressure on 5 people, 5 offensive linemen. Ought to be able to block 3 defensive linemen, but they didn't in that situation. And for that reason, they were able to bat the ball down in good shape.
So Danny White, quarterbacking now, is the punter also. He's kicked 3 for a 39-yard average. Shara had a 31-yard return earlier in this game. He stands inside his 25. Score tied 7-7. The kick by White. And it sends Shara back to the 19. He's to the 20, coming up the middle, going left now. Across the 25, turns the corner at the 30, and he's out of bounds at the 34. And Doug Cosby pumped him out of bounds. A 43-yard kick, a 16-yard return, and Shara has made his presence felt here tonight.
Yes, he has. Made a beautiful return just the last time he carried the ball, and that time he got away from some traffic on the inside. He jumped to the outside, had the ball in the wrong arm. He could have maybe helped himself a little bit, but he had the ball in the right arm, running left, and for that reason had to be satisfied to get knocked out of bounds because he couldn't help himself with a straight arm or maybe a shoulder shot down the sideline.
You don't like that, do you?
Nope.
First down for the Eagles from their own 34. They have 1:35 remaining. They have 3 timeouts remaining. So do the Cowboys have 3 timeouts. And on first down, Jaworski a long count. Straight rush by Dallas. They're after him. Jaworski is caught. Back at the 22 by Harvey Martin. He came right around Stan Walters, the offensive tackle. He can come quickly, and Jaworski is down on the deck.
Yes, he really came around the outside, and Stan Walters, as you mentioned, just did not make the block. He hit him from the backside and really delivered a blow on Jaworski. He had no chance whatsoever. He was looking, that's the tough thing. The right ends, defensive right ends, love that kind of a play because the quarterbacks have their backs to the defensive right end.
He never did see him, did he?
Never did see him. Never had a chance.
If you can hear him coming or see him coming, you can brace yourself a little bit and tuck it in so that you get less of an impact. But he was sacked that time, and John Walton prepares to come into the game. Walton, 11 out of 19, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. So it looks like if Jaworski can't answer the bell for the final minute and a half of this first half, we'll have the 2 second-string quarterbacks in there.
That was a great illustration. You've heard a lot about the lookout block. There was a great illustration of a lookout block. The
offensive tackle lets him go and says, look out.
That's exactly right.
Jaworski really got crumbled by Martin, who is so big. Martin is 6'5", 250. He's not at all a dirty player. Not at all. His ordinary shots are enough to put you out of commission.
Oh, that's right. Exactly right. Anything he's done legitimately, and he loves to rush the passer. That's what he does best. And if you permit him with the opportunity to get to the quarterback, boy, he's really going to give him a shot.
And they talk about Martin this year being even better. He's developed some good inside moves. He used to be strictly an outside rusher, but now that he can come inside, he can play a little game with that offensive tackle.
I tell you, the other thing that makes him a much better tackle is the development and growth of the right tackle, Randy White, who is playing right next door, and he makes a big difference.
And then Harvey Martin is so good that when that offensive back slips off to try to help out with the blocking on Martin, here comes Thomas Henderson, the linebacker from the other side. It's a tough combination they have going.
Yes, it is, and I think really what's happened in the past, people felt they could run inside of the defensive right end, who we're talking about, Martin. But with Randy White playing inside of him, it's tough to do that. So teams are running on the other side, and then when they throw the ball, he has nothing to worry about. He just comes right back after that quarterback, and boy, he really gets after it.
So Jaworski is coming off the field. He's a little the worse for wear, but walking off under his own power after being crunched by Harvey Martin. He appears to have, and I'm only guessing now, a bad left shoulder, left arm, left wrist, left hand, something of the sort. Not his throwing arm. They're going to take him right to the dressing room and allow John Walton to finish things out here in the first half. Jaworski stops, however, and says, let's wait a while and see how it turns out. So John Walton is in there to quarterback the club. And it's second down and 20 from their own 23 for the Eagles. And Walton's going to throw. He throws to the sideline, and it is caught by the running back, Billy Camfield. He's out of bounds at the Philadelphia 35. A substantial gain. Dennis Thurman, the extra Dallas defensive back, was covering. 1:26 remaining. So Walton's 1 for 1.
I was surprised that he really went back in the pocket and threw the ball the very first time he was in on a 1st and 10 situation. That's a tough assignment to go in there cold and hit a strike, but he did exactly that, threw it right on the money. A nice-looking pass by John Walton.
1:26 left in the half. Back to the original line of scrimmage. The Eagles are at their own 35, 3rd and 10. Walton out of Elizabeth City State. Back to throw. Goes to the sideline and overthrew Campbell to the other field. This the other sideline this time. And it's going to be 4th down with 1:21 remaining and kicking time for Max Runiger, the rookie out of South Carolina. Steve Wilson back to get it. I didn't think we'd have this many punts in this matchup between the Eagles and the Cowboys.
No, not the way it started.
Here's a kick high, a dandy kick, and Wilson takes it at the 22. Running right, no place to go. Up the middle, sock down, shy of the 30. Loose ball, and who has it? We wait for them to unpile. Players on both teams signaling that they have it. And indeed, Philadelphia might have recovered that fumble. They unpile them. We have 1:09 remaining in the half. The fumble is inside the Dallas 30, and the Eagles have the football. Wilson fumbled, and Frank LeMaster came away with the ball, and they're already within field goal range for Franklin.
Yes, they are. Boy, the specialty teams have done a great job for both teams. But Philadelphia especially has really been very aggressive in that area.
The ball's at the Dallas 29. Took a long time for them to unpile. I wonder how up the ball changes hands underneath the big pile up, eh?
Oftentimes it changes quite often before the official unpiles everybody and finally has a chance to make the call.
With Walton at the controls, Carmichael's to the right, Smith to the left, Montgomery in the backfield with Leroy Harris, Prepley the tight end on the left side. And on first down, Walton sets his club and is back to throw. They pick up the blitz, and he throws it to the corner, and it is caught for a touchdown for Philadelphia. Coming away with the ball was Charlie Smith. His first touchdown pass of the year, and Walton, the reserve quarterback, puts the Eagles ahead.
Boy, did he put it right on the money. A beautiful shot to Charlie Smith. Really getting back in the pocket nicely. Had some pressure from the inside, but they picked up the protection very well. He throws the ball on the outside for Charlie Smith, and he goes into the end zone for the touchdown. Boy, a great-looking play.
A penalty earlier cost Dallas a touchdown. Philadelphia scored on the following play. And now a fumble puts the Eagles on top. Shara will hold. Franklin kicks. The kick is good. And it's 14-7 in favor of the Eagles with 1:03 remaining in the half. There's a timeout on the field with the score. Philadelphia 14 and Dallas 7.
A great-looking pass by John Walton, who fired a perfect strike to the corner about 2 yards shy of the end zone and got his receiver right on the numbers. A great play, and the Philadelphia Eagles are probably making the Washington Redskins feel mighty, mighty good right now, because if Philadelphia can hold on and beat Dallas tonight, that would put them, of course, back in a tie with Washington for second place, but both teams would only be one game behind Dallas, and Washington has a date with the Cowboys next Sunday at RFK here in the nation's capital. You know, it took Rick Upchurch of the Denver Broncos just 5 seasons to break the all-time punt return record set by Emlyn Tunnell of the New York Giants over 14 seasons. Upchurch returned 3 punts for 30 yards against New England Sunday, pushing his career total to 2,219 yards. That is 10 yards more than Tunnell had during his stints with the New York Giants and later in the twilight of a great career with the Green Bay Packers.
The kickoff goes to Steve Wilson at the 15, came across the 20, 25, 30, went to the outside, chased by Canfield, and tackled with 56 seconds remaining in the half. And the Cowboys are at their own 39. Wilson with a good return of that kickoff, 24 yards. 56 seconds remaining in the half. The Eagles on top. And Danny White is the quarterback for the Cowboys. Jaworski has an injury to his left wrist. He was taken to the dressing room. But now the Eagles defense is asked to stop them. Ron Springs is in there with White, who's in the shotgun from the 39. He's back to throw. Good blocking by the line. The pass is intercepted. Intercepted by Randy Logan. Inside the 45, and he's out of bounds at the Dallas 41. Logan gets his third of the year. The second time the White's been picked off this year. 48 seconds left in the half. Hank, Stram, I think about 3 times tonight you mentioned that the Eagles cannot play a running game against the Cowboys. They have to come out throwing and make the Cowboys play the Eagles game.
That's exactly right. You have to make them rush the passer. They like to rush 4. Hope they can do it, but if they can't, then they're going to rush 6. As soon as they do that, you got one-on-one coverage and a great opportunity. The defensive backs for the Dallas Cowboys are not that great from a coverage standpoint. You have a great opportunity to make some big plays, and that's exactly what happened the last time Philadelphia threw the football.
First down at the Dallas 42 now for Walton. He's back to throw again, and he hails it down the sideline for Smith. Out of bounds. He caught it, but he was out of bounds. Out of bounds, incomplete. He was going for the marbles, and Benny Barnes was right with Charlie Smith.
They had a one-on-one. They were double covering. Carmichael on the other side had a single this time on Charlie Smith. And the left cornerback, Benny Barnes, covered him well on the play, but had the ball been thrown far enough inside, it still would have been a completion and possibly a touchdown.
Walton's not bashful, is he?
He isn't.
He's out of Elizabeth City State, 6'2", 210. This is his 5th year in the league.
And watch his high release. He really gets rid of the ball well, up high and above the lineman, and gets a good trajectory on the ball.
42 seconds left in the half. 2nd and 10. Walton back to throw to the sideline. Incomplete to Wilbert Montgomery. who is being chased by the linebacker, Thomas Henderson. 37 seconds left in the half, and third down. Philadelphia would like to get one more first down and give Tony Franklin a chance at 3 more points. Eagles were underdogs by 9.5 points at the start of this night, but they're ahead 14-7.
They're really playing a very aggressive, intense football game here tonight, and especially have to give them a lot of credit for they went behind. They were stunned early in the game on the very first series, but they came back like gangbusters and have really done an outstanding job.
The touchdown pass thrown to Smith by Walton was Walton's first touchdown pass in the National Football League. He's faced with 3rd and 10 from his own, from the Dallas 42. Dallas shows a straight rush. That's what it is. Flag goes down. The pass to Carmichael is incomplete. You would guess holding from the position of the flag. That was 3rd down. Now 32 seconds remaining in the half. Now it's backfield in motion against Philadelphia. That probably will be declined, making it 3rd and 10 from the Dallas 42. Referee is Gene Barth here this evening. Down, kicking time for the Eagles. Their head coach is Dick Vermeil, you know. Fred Brody, Marion Campbell, Chuck Clausen, Dick Curry, Sid Gilman, George Hill, Ken Hyman, Billy Joe, Lynn Stiles, and Jerry Wampler work with him. Tom Landry is assisted by Ermal Allen, Mike Ditka, Jim Myers, Dan Reeves, Gene Stallings, Ernie Stotner, Jerry Tubbs, and Bob Ward. Well, here is a 59-yard attempt by Franklin, with Shara holding the ball. The snap and the kick. He kicks a line drive, and it's got a chance. It is good. 59-yard field goal by Tony Franklin, who missed earlier in this ball game from much closer than that. And the Eagles add to their lead 17-7 with 27 seconds remaining in the half. So a fumble led to an Eagles score, an interception leads to an Eagles score, a penalty led to an Eagles score, and it's 17-7 Philadelphia. What a kick.
Oh, God, just remarkable the way he got that ball up in the air. It was straight as a string, went right through there like it had eyes. A fantastic kick by Tony Franklin.
Tony Franklin missed from 45 yards earlier. Kicked one from 59 yards away, his longest ever as a pro. Previously, his mark had been 51. And the Eagles are ahead by 10. Should have some fireworks in the second half here tonight.
Oh, yes, we'll see a lot of fireworks here before this evening is over with, I'm sure, Jack. There'll be a lot of sparks flying here tonight.
Longest field goal ever against the Cowboys. They've burned some people with field goals late in the game this year. Franklin's kick heads for Ron Springs. He takes it on the 11. He's to the 15, to the 20-yard line, to the 25, and spun down, knocked down at the Dallas 25 with 23 seconds remaining in the half. A 59-yard field goal by Tony Franklin. It's a kick just to see one travel that far, eh?
Tom Dempsey kick. How long was that kick he made? 61 yards?
61, right?
61 against Detroit in the old Sugar Bowl. This was close to that same record.
You know, when you stand down there in the field and look at that distance to the goalpost, it just seems impossible. Well, Danny White intercepted the last time he threw. Is into quarterback from the 25-yard line. 23 seconds left in the half. They run to the lay, and the play carries across the 30 out to the 31-yard line. Tackle made by Frank LeMaster on Ron Springs. And Dallas just going to let it run out, and the Eagles ahead by 10 say, that's fine with us. Brent Musburger is going to be joining us at halftime. Boo, say the fans here in Dallas. There's the gun sounding the end of the first half with the score. The Eagles 17 and Dallas 7.
A real decision that'll make the championship that last game of the season.
All right. You and Jack enjoy the second half. I think things are going to be heating up down there deep in the heart of Texas for you.
Okay, Brent. Thanks a lot.
Score here at halftime is 17-7. With the Eagles leading, and by the way, the 59-yard field goal by Tony Franklin was the second longest ever in the history of the National Football League. Hank, what do some of those stats look like as we start the final 30 minutes of this football game?
Well, it's a little bit like we all know and realize that either team has been able to run with any degree of success so far in the first half. To illustrate this point, Dallas has 99 yards rushing, 21 attempts. Philadelphia has only got 8 yards rushing on 10 opportunities.
Here's the kick, and it goes to Jamona. He's across the 25, he's across the 30, and across the 40-yard line before he's stopped. Louis Jamona was tackled by the final line of defense for the Cowboys. He came out to the 42-yard line, and these Eagles are doing a lot of things right. Larry Brinson, the tackler, and the kicker, Raphael Septien, helped out with the final stop on the play. So the Eagles get a little momentum. They still have now Jaworski's back in there, quarterback. What a gutty performance.
Now let's see if they'll continue to throw the ball on first down. They should do that. Keep the pressure on Dallas. No, they're going to run.
The ball to Montgomery, runs left, comes across the 45, out to the 47-yard line, and he picked up 5 yards. I wonder if Jaworski's going to throw the ball as well as Walton threw it while he was in there.
Well, it's hard to match that. He was 2 for 2. That's pretty strong.
So the kickoff went to the 42. And then 5 yards by Montgomery. 2nd and 5 from their own 47 for the Eagles. The up back is Leroy Harris. They give it to him over the left side. Goes to midfield. Goes to the Dallas 49. Very close to a first down. Randy White and Larry Cole tackled him there. This crowd is shocked. 65,000 total here. Here comes Leroy Harris limping off the field. He'll be replaced by Larry Barnes. Barnes out of Tennessee State, a third-year man. They measure for a first down. The Eagles are short about the length of the football. Staubach is expected to play for the Cowboys when they get the ball. Meanwhile, it's 3rd and 1 for Philadelphia, and the Cowboys can't be too sure that Jaworski's going to run it.
That's exactly right. And the other thing is, they started the game running to their right. They came in the second half here and ran to their left at Harvey Martin and Randy White, and have really done a good job of moving the football. 3rd and short right now.
A lot of people say that you have to run at him to be effective. They put in Spagnola on the wing to help with the blocking.
See if they run right here. They do.
They give it to Barnes. He gets a first down, cracking to the Dallas 46-yard line. He was in there with Billy Campfield, the 2 bigger backs, Campfield and Barnes. The Eagles get a first down. If they could establish that running game with a 10-point lead that they have, Hank Stram, they could get into good shape, couldn't they?
Yes, they could.
That's their first down rushing for the Eagles, went to the Dallas 46.
But you have to keep them guessing, and you got to keep control of the defense by throwing a lot on first down and changing up the run and running when they expect you to pass the football. That's when you succeed well against the Dallas. Here it is.
Jaworski back to throw on first down, and he throws incomplete. He wanted to throw a short pattern, but there was heavy coverage. Dave Stalls was after the quarterback. The coverage was by Thomas Henderson on the back. Larry Barnes coming out. The coaches around the league that I talked to, Hank, tell me that Thomas Henderson is as good a linebacker covering those backs coming out. He's as good a strong side linebacker as there is in the league.
Yeah, he really is. He's strong, and but he has the unusual ability to be able to cover so well. He's quick, and he has a great combination of not only quickness, but speed along with it. And when you have that combination, that's when you're a great linebacker.
2nd down and 10 from the Dallas 46. Jaworski back to throw again. And throws long for Smith. He caught it, and he is out of bounds. Out of bounds, incomplete. Jaworski was almost on target, and Smith couldn't stay inside the white line. Benny Barnes was covering over there. Jaworski showed plenty of zip with that toss.
Yes, he did. And, I tell you something, Charlie Smith really made a stretching, nice catch down the sideline, up on top, but it went out of bounds.
He got 1 foot in, and the other foot, when it came down, was just on the white. And it's going to be 3rd down and 10 for the Eagles. They've kept the ball for almost 2 minutes here at the outset of the second half.
But you can throw on Benny Barnes and Aaron Kyle if you have time enough to throw the ball, Jack.
2 out of 11 for Jaworski, that's all. See how the Cowboys come after him. It's a straight rush, but a heavy rush. Jaworski drops it off incomplete. And Dennis Thurman almost walked into the ball. It was intended for Campfield coming out. Jaworski didn't have much time to throw. That's what you're talking about.
No, had he had time to throw that time, Campfield was just breaking into the open, licking a linebacker on the play. He was wide open in the middle, but he had the force to throw, and there's the game you play, is feast or famine. If you have the protection, you're going to have some big plays. If you don't, you're going to lose some yardage, but you can't be discouraged. You have to continue to throw the ball and hope for the big play.
Roniger kicks for the 5th time tonight. It bounces inside the 10, and it bounces into the end zone. It'll come out to the 20-yard line. So the Cowboys get the ball. The Eagles kept it for 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Cowboys at their own 20. With the score, the Eagles 17 and the Cowboys 7. Let's take time out.
The NBA is underway about a month and a week, and let's have a look at the standings. In the Eastern Conference, the Atlantic Division leader is Philadelphia. They, at the moment, along with Milwaukee and Portland, have the best records in the NBA. Philadelphia leads the Atlantic Division with a record of 12-3. Julius Irving off to a quick start. Boston is a surprising second at 10-3. Then it's New York 7-7, Washington 4-7. The Bullets off to a slow start, and New Jersey in the cellar at 4-10. So Philadelphia leads Boston by a game in the Eastern Atlantic Division. In the Eastern Conference Central Division, Atlanta is on top with an 11-5 record. The Hawks own a 2.5-game margin over San Antonio. Indiana is next, 4 games out. Houston is 4 games out. Cleveland is 5 out, as is the Detroit entry, the Pistons. The Western Conference, the Midwest Division leader is Milwaukee. They have, at the moment, in the early going, a 7.5-game lead over Denver and Kansas City.
I just announced to the crowd here that Franklin's 59-yard field goal for the Eagles was the second longest ever in the history of the National Football League. Tom Dempsey holds that record, 63 yards. Now, the Cowboys get the ball for the first time in the second half, and Staubach is indeed back into the game. They have Newhouse and Dorsett and Dupree in the backfield. They start Dupree in motion, and on first down, here's the draw play. Carrying for no gain at all. No gain at all. A big hit by Carl Hairston, and then John Bunting, the linebacker, came up, and they stopped Dorsett cold. Let's pause 5 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS Radio Network.
This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
Thanks, Stram. This Eagle defense is keeping pace with their offense.
Boy, they're doing a great job. They really have swarming defense, a 3-4 defense. It's a contrast to styles and personalities. Dallas is a 4-3 flex defense, and, of course, Eagles are 3-4.
Here goes Dorsett running right, cracks back, comes out to the 25-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 5. As he follows Fitzgerald, Scott, Rafferty, Cooper, and Donovan, and the tight end Dupree. Jerry Robinson, the inside linebacker, made the tackle. He's the rookie out of UCLA, and he got a start here tonight. These Eagles will be at home next week. They'll play St. Louis. And the Cowboys travel to Washington. The attendance tonight, 62,417. The game was sold out. 62,000 on hand. Dorsett has carried 10 times, 49 yards. It's 3rd down and 5 from the 25. Staubach in the shotgun. Philadelphia shows the blitz. They rush only 4. Staubach throws, and it is incomplete to Saldi. The tight end knocked down by Randy Logan. That Philadelphia defense is pushing that offensive line of Dallas back right into the face of the quarterback.
Yes, they are, and they're doing it with 3 people most of the time, which is very unusual. You wouldn't think they'd be able to attack the 5-man offensive front of the Dallas Cowboys, and sometimes they're keeping the back end to help with the protection. That time they kept Dorsett in, but there was still some leakage on the play, and he had to throw the ball. That time, Randy Logan really made a great play, number 41.
John Shara is back at his 35. White is kicking for the 5th time. He's averaged 40 yards a kick. He'll get it away from the 15. A high snap. He handles it. His kick is rather low, and Shara takes it on the 33, gets to the 35, to the 40. The fans thought there was a clip. Shara gets to the 44-yard line. No flags on the play. And the Eagles go from their 44. Did you see that action?
No, I didn't.
The fans were booing.
I just heard the racket and assumed they thought it was a blitz. A clip of some kind. 43-yard punt with a 10-yard return.
To the Philadelphia 43-yard line. There's the timeout on the field with a score. The Eagles 17, the Cowboys 7.
Back to the NBA standings in the Western Conference. Milwaukee, off to a quick start at 12-3, already owns a 7.5-game cushion over both Denver and Kansas City, who are at distant 5-11. Then it's Chicago 4-12, 8.5 back. Utah is 2-12, 9.5 games down. The Jazz off to a very slow start after moving the franchise from New Orleans to Salt Lake City. The Pacific Division finds Portland off to a quick start. The Trailblazers at 13-4. but only leading by 1 game over Los Angeles, which is 11-4. The addition of Magic Johnson with Lou Alcindor has really made up a very potent offense for the Lakers. Phoenix is 2.5 games out at 10-6. Then it's Seattle 9-6, 3 games out. Golden State 7-6, 4 games out. San Diego is 6-11, 7 games out. Seattle got off to a very poor start. They lost their first 3 games of the season, but they're beginning to climb slowly and steadily in the standings, and the defending NBA champs are moving.
We've had an exchange of punts. The Eagles start from their own 43 now with Montgomery in the backfield, along with Larry Barnes. No, it's Harris back in there, the up back, out of the eye. And Jaworski back to throw on first down, swings it out to Harris at the 40, goes to the 45, buries his head, moves out to the 48-yard line, and he got 6 yards on the play. You talked about that earlier, Hank, about flaring those passes out against the heavy Dallas rush.
Yes, that time he had a long man, Carmichael, deep downfield, and he looked at him. He was covered. He came right back to the safety valve, who was Harris on the play, made the catch, and picked up a few yards of the play, specifically picked up 6.
10:41 remaining in the third quarter. The Eagles are leading here, 17-7, in a big upset. We mentioned earlier the Redskins and Jack Pardee are rooting for the Eagles tonight, so that the Redskins will be within a game, as the Eagles will be if they win. Jaworski to Montgomery, flies off the line of scrimmage and gets down near the Dallas 46, very close to a first down. Montgomery really came off the ball that time.
Yes, he did, and so did the defense of the Dallas Cowboys. Boy, he got some shots there that time by Aaron Kyle and also Randy Hughes.
Gene Barth, the referee, calls for a measurement, stops the clock with 10:17 remaining in the period. The scoring in this game, in case you weren't with us throughout, 48-yard touchdown pass, Staubach to Hill after only a minute it transpired in the game. And then on 4th and 1, Jaworski gambled through to Carmichael, a 32-yard scoring pass to tie it. A 29-yard pass from backup quarterback John Walton to Charlie Smith put the Eagles ahead 14-7 with 56 seconds remaining in the half. And a 59-yard field goal by Tony Franklin, the second longest ever in the history of the NFL, with 27 seconds left, gave the Eagles a 17-7 halftime lead, and they lead by that margin now. They are faced with third down and inches at the Dallas 46-yard line. The Eagles are. They have Harris and Larry Barnes in the backfield, the two big backs.
See if they run right again this time or do something to the right side.
Barnes is the big one at 220. They give it to Harris. He ducks outside and gets a first down inside the 40 and out of bounds at the Dallas 36. Boy, was wide open on the outside, and Harris, quick enough to recognize it, made a big play.
Yes, he looked inside and then jumped to the outside. A lot of running room that time. They did a good job of coming off the football, and another big first down for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Woody Peoples, Jerry Sizemore, the blockers on the right side. Keith Krepley, the tight end. Guy Morris, the center. Wade Key, Stan Walters are the tackles. And a first down for the Eagles now at the Dallas 36. Jaworski runs the club out of the eye. Krepley on the right side. A long count. Back to throw. Quickie to the sideline. Caught by Charlie Smith inside the 30 down to the 28 for a big gain of about 7 yards.
He's doing a good job. He keeps throwing the ball on 1st and 10, even though he's got a 17-7 lead. And that's what you have to do. You have to be on the attack. You have to make something happen. And the way to make something happen is to throw the ball, pass block well, but you can throw the ball against Dallas if you do that specifically.
The ball now at the Dallas 28. What are they doing to Carmichael? Every time I look up on a pass pattern, he's got 3 men around him.
Yeah, they're double dipping him on the outside, but for that reason, you give the ball to whoever's open, and that's what he's doing a good job at this particular time.
2nd and 2. Here is Leroy Harris for a first down inside the 25 of Dallas, down to the 24. Philadelphia is doing just about what they want to do now.
Well, they're not predictable. They're keeping Dallas off balance. And they're trying to anticipate whether they're going to run the ball or throw the ball, and that's the kind of a situation you want to get them in.
Dallas loves you in that 3rd and 6, don't they?
Oh, they love to put the pressure on you, but it's fun to be the quarterback when it's 2nd and 2. 2nd and 3, that's when it's fun, and that's when you control the defense, and that's exactly what's happening here. Let's see if he throws the ball again on 1st and 10.
First down at the Cowboy 24-yard line for the Eagles. And Jaworski and Montgomery over the left side inside the 20-yard line for a big gain. He followed Walters and Key and Guy Morris, and Larry Cole had to come across to make the tackle, and Randy Hughes up from the secondary. And the Eagles are really kicking the Cowboys around.
Yes, they are. And that time they were in a slot formation to the right with Carmichael and Charlie Smith. They split the tight end to the left. It looked like a passing formation, but instead of that, they ran from the passing formation, which is a good ploy.
A pickup of 6, second down and 4 from the Dallas 18-yard line for Philadelphia here in Dallas. And here is the give to the up back, and running with the ball is Montgomery. And Montgomery's inside the 15-yard line and almost broke it for a score. He was tackled near the 12-yard line, and it's another first down. These fans really getting restless. The Eagles are ahead 17-7 and on the move to the Dallas 12.
I think they're a little stunned, especially the way the game started. I think they thought it was going to be a fun evening, an easy evening, but it's turned around completely by the mistakes that Dallas has made and the great play of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Rufus Mays in there at the offensive right tackle position. A first down at the Dallas 12 for Jaworski. He gives the ball to Montgomery, starts inside, goes outside, and tackle for a loss of about a yard on the play. Great penetration that time by the Cowboys linebacker, Bob Bruning, and he was followed in by Randy Hughes. 7:08 remaining in the half, and a player is shaken up.
That was Billy Campfield that time, 37, who carried the football. And it looks like he got a shot of some kind. We'll see what happened on the play.
I had Montgomery, the ball carrier, but it was Campfield, number 37, and he is stretched out inside the 15-yard line. Some sort of a leg injury. Stops the clock with 7:08 remaining. Dallas punted to the Eagles back at their 43-yard line with 11:13 remaining, so they've kept the ball for more than 4 minutes on this drive, the Eagles have. They lead 17-7. Hank, I don't know if you put your finger on it or not. We'll have to wait and see the final outcome of this game, but the Cowboys scored with only 1:01 having elapsed in the game, and it looked easy for them, and Hank Stram remarked at that time that it might cause the Cowboys to relax a bit. They may be paying the price right now. There's a timeout as a result of the injury. Timeout on the field with the score, the Eagles 17 and the Cowboys 7.
Here's an update on the only NBA game being played stateside Monday night. At the end of the third quarter, the Utah Jazz leads Indiana 81-75. Utah trying to win only its third game of the regular season. Indiana goes into that contest with a record of 7-9. Utah going in is 2-12. 81-75. The Jazz leads the Pacers 81-75 going into the fourth period. The Associated Press has learned that Ann Myers will sign a 3-year contract on Wednesday with the New Jersey Gems of the Women's Pro Basketball League. The contract is worth $130,000. The 5'10" former UCLA star had failed in her bid to become the first woman player in the NBA with the Indiana Pacers. Ms. Myers gives up a $50,000 broadcasting job with the Pacers to play with the Gems. Myers will earn $50,000 this season and $40,000 for each of the next 2 years with the Gems. The average salary in the league is about $10,000.
Billy Campfield, the third-year man out of Kansas, is helped off the field with some sort of a leg injury. Philadelphia is second and 11 at the Dallas 13. 7:08 remaining in the third quarter. Clock starts to run. The crowd wants the defense to dig in. Offensive line of the Eagles is doing great work. Walters, Key, Morris, Peoples, and Mays. It's second down.
See if they run left outside.
Backfield. Jaworski a long count. Carmichael's to the right. Now Jaworski's back to throw. Looks and throws into the corner. Carmichael has it for a score. Carmichael up high over the defender for a touchdown. His second of the night. What a big advantage that height of his is at 6'8".
What a mismatch. That's what you're always looking for, and that's exactly what happened on the play. He threw it up there high. He made a beautiful catch. They were in a slot formation to the right side and a double wing formation on the other side. It looked like they might try to run to the left because they had an advantage. He threw the ball perfectly, got the ball on top. Another touchdown for Philadelphia.
They now lead 23-7 with 6:38 remaining in the third quarter. Charo holding and Franklin trying for the extra point. He gets it up and through, and the score is 24-7. And as we said, the Cowboys scored after only 1 minute had gone by in this game, 1 minute and 1 second, and they haven't scored since. They'll get this ensuing kickoff with the score of the Eagles 24, the Cowboys 7. Let's take time out.
It's great when you're 6'8" and a half in the NFL. That was just an alley-oop pass. Jaworski put it up there, and of course Carmichael, the tallest man on the field, had his defender beat. As Hank Stram pointed out, a great mismatch. He just stretched up and had about maybe a foot advantage over his opponent on defense and pulled the ball in for the score. A Sugar Bowl official says there's a lot of ifs to be decided before an opponent is determined for the Southeast Conference champion. Executive Director Mickey Holmes says the possibility of either inviting Texas or Arkansas to the Southwest Conference under consideration for the New Year's Day game. That is, if either Texas or Arkansas is available. One of those teams might win the Southwest Conference championship and, of course, automatically be the host in the Cotton Bowl. However, Holmes adds that teams from the Big 8 and the Big 10 also are under consideration. Bids for all the bowl games will be going out Saturday evening. One school trying to keep its options open is Purdue. It was announced this week that Purdue cannot go to the Rose Bowl no matter what happens Saturday.
Ron Springs and Steve Wilson are back, awaiting the kick from Tony Franklin. The Eagles lead by 17, 24-7, with 6:38 remaining in the third quarter. Hank Stram and Jack Buck with you from Irving, Texas. Here's the kick by Tony Franklin. It's high, it's short, and Springs takes it on the 13. He's to the 15, to the 20, to the 25. Tackle at the 29-yard line. The Cowboys will go from there. Hank, you know, this is the 10th year for Harold Carmichael. When he first started, all he was big. But now he's big, he is tough, and he is talented. He put quite a move on Aaron Kyle in the end zone.
Yes, he did, and there's another great illustration of the fact that if you have time to throw the ball and can protect for the passer, you can throw the ball efficiently against Dallas, and specifically throwing their corners. They threw that time on Aaron Kyle, the cornerback, right cornerback who was playing Carmichael man for man on the slot. He got him turned around, and the rest is history. Another touchdown, 13-yard touchdown pass to Carmichael.
Staubach from his own 29 in there at quarterback, hampered with a bad thigh. He's back to throw, fake short. Wanted to screen it to the right, and he is tackled, sacked in the backfield. He wanted to fake the screen right, wanted to throw a screen left. He was rushed by Frank LeMaster, who tripped him up. Roger lost his balance and went down. The referee blew the whistle and protected him back at the 17-yard line.
That's a strategy that the Eagles have used quite effectively, blitzing linebackers on 1st and 10 situations. That time, Frank LeMaster did exactly that. He blitzed and got to the quarterback and was able to knock him off balance and knock him to the turf.
Third time that Staubach has been sacked tonight. Prior to tonight, only 18. And it is second down and 21. Rogers back to throw. He throws. It's caught out near the 30-yard line by Hill. Turns it upfield to the 35 and out of bounds at the 37. A big play, Staubach hitting the wide receiver Hill for a big game.
Yeah, that's really surprised me in that they really haven't taken advantage of the depth that Bobby Howard plays in a left corner. That's the first time they've thrown in front of him. And he was open, and they got a nice play out of a forward pass, that time to Tony Hill.
The ball is at the 37-yard line, making it third down and about 3 for the Cowboys. They're trailing 24-7. They need this first down. Laidlaw is in the backfield with Dorsett. Staubach back to throw. Needs 3 yards on third down. Looks to the sideline, runs out of the pocket. He is tackled at the 35 for a loss of 2 yards on the play. Staubach couldn't find a man to throw to, was scrambling, and Charlie Johnson took him down, and the Cowboys have to punt.
Well, that's amazing, the way they're putting pressure on him with a 3-man rush most of the time. Charlie Johnson that time did a good job. Number 65, the nose tackle, did a good job of making the play in the open field and forcing Dallas to come back with a punt on 4th down and 3.
Fourth time that Staubach has been sacked. They've been talking about this offensive line of the Cowboys being suspect, and they're getting kicked around here tonight. Shara waits at his 25 for the Danny White kick. And it's taken on a 26, and a tackle is broken by Shara, and he gets back to the 29, and he took a chance there. Shaw got downfield and tackled him, and Shara, with the Eagles sitting on a 17-point lead, took an unnecessary chance then.
Yes, he did. He would have been much safer to just signal for the fair catch, be satisfied to make the catch, and not have to worry about maybe dropping the ball. But he's a very aggressive guy, and you like to have that kind of a punt returner who is aggressive and very daring and make those kind of plays for you on the deep punt return.
Shara took it back to the 30-yard line. John Dutton is in there defensively now for the Cowboys, playing that left defensive end. So it's Dutton, Stalls, White, and Martin up front. Well, the Cowboy offense can't get anything going. These fans want their defense to take charge. On first down, Jaworski back to throw. Stumbles, comes up, throws. Airs it out deep down the left sideline. Incomplete. Aaron Kyle caught it out of bounds. Incomplete. Aaron Kyle of the Cowboys latched onto the Philadelphia pass intended for Charlie Smith. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Like the plan. That's what they have to do. They can't be conservative and sit on that 24-7 lead. They have to follow the plan, throw the ball on first down like they've been doing with great success, throw it deep occasionally, and but that's what they have to do to continue to move the ball efficiently against this fine Dallas defense here tonight.
We're in the third quarter. The Eagles are leading 24-7. About 4:59 remaining in the period. 2nd and 10 for the Eagles from their own 30. Carmichael and Charlie Smith are both left. Presley, the tight end, is on the right side. And Jaworski tosses to the tailback, and Montgomery comes across the 30 out of bounds near the 35-yard line. He got 5 yards on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 5.
Leroy Harris that time, the fullback, did a good job of blocking out in front, which permitted Montgomery to get some running room and got the most that he could possibly get out of the play. Picked up 5. It's 3rd and 5.
Nick, aside from the good things that Philadelphia is doing tonight, what's so bad about the Cowboys this evening?
Well, the big thing, really, we mentioned earlier in the game is the fact that those costly penalties really made a big difference. The first drive, they made some mistakes that provided the Eagles with an opportunity to maintain possession, and they went in and scored. That's really been the big difference.
And an interception and a fumble led to an Eagles score. Here's 3rd and 5. The blitz is on. Jaworski back to throw. Chase out of the pocket and throws it away. Smart move. Thomas Henderson was after him, along with others. And it's 4th down. Jaworski got the heck out of there that time, didn't he?
Yes, he did. But he got rid of the ball in good shape, but that was the important thing, that he didn't lose a lot of yardage in the process.
Cowboys will get it back with 4:48 remaining in the third quarter. Max Runager is the punter for the Eagles. He'll touch it off at about his 25. Steve Wilson waits at his 25. The official steps in, and they want a different football. 62,417 in attendance here. It's cold down on the playing field. Very comfortable up here in the stand. This will be the 6th kick by Runager. He's averaged 44 yards a kick. It's a good place to kick, this Texas Stadium. This is a bad one. Off to the left and wobbling, bounces inside the 45 and goes out of bounds inside the Dallas 35-yard line. Only a 33-yard kick. Well, they could have used a better one that time.
Yes, they could have. But Dallas has to do something offensively. They've got to get some points on the scoreboard. There's only 4:39 left in the third quarter. There's a lot of time left in this football game, but they've got to do something dramatic offensively to get back in this football game.
Cowboys are at their 33. Staubach was sacked twice in the last series of downs that the Dallas team tried to run. Drew Pearson and Tony Hill are to the left. Drew Pearson has been nullified here this evening. Hasn't caught a ball all night. Hill goes in motion, and Staubach is back to throw. He scrambles out of the pocket again and throws on the run. It's wide open at the 40-yard line to Tony Hill. Out of bounds inside the 35 at the 31 of Philadelphia. Frank Lemaster chased him out. Hill got loose as Staubach was scrambling for a 37-yard gain.
Boy, he's amazing how cool he is. He goes back in the pocket, had to scramble around that time. He finally spotted Hill downfield. He was wide open in the middle. He got it right to him, right on the numbers. Ran out of bounds, but they have great field position and a fine opportunity here to take advantage. But that's the big thing. They have to take advantage of the opportunity they have now.
Dallas needed that one. They have a first down of the Eagles 31. This is strange territory for them. They haven't been down there that often. On first down and out of the I formation. Here is a toss to Springs. He wants to throw the ball, and he does. Throws it to Hill. Incomplete in the end zone. The left-handed throwing running back, Ron Springs, tried to get the ball to Tony Hill in the end zone. Herman Edwards was covering and might have touched the ball.
He really had him open early that time, but he had to make an adjustment. It looks like Reggie Wilkes got some penetration that time. He had to duck inside of him, try to get rid of the football, and they recovered by the time he got the ball up in the air.
Hill has caught a touchdown pass. He's caught 5 passes for 118 yards. And that ball was is just out of his grasp in the end zone. It's 2nd and 10 from the Philadelphia 31. Cowboys going from our right to our left. Philadelphia's played it straight on defense. Not much blitzing. They're blitzing now, and the running play is stopped at the 30-yard line. No gain as Dorsett carried over the left side. It looked like they had called the right play against the right defense, but it didn't go as the middle guard, Charlie Johnson, stopped it.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
So it's 3rd down and 9. Dorsett got only 1. Had Dorsett broken the line of scrimmage that time, he might have scooted.
The tight end hadn't caught a ball for the Dallas Cowboys here tonight, Billy Joe Dupree.
It's amazing that Dupree and Drew Pearson haven't had the ball get to them. 3rd and 9 out of the shotgun. Staubach back to throw to the sideline, and it is incomplete, out of bounds to Tony Hill. Hill slams the ball down, and he's lucky he doesn't get a penalty for that, as he berates the official a bit. He came very close to violating the law that time, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He dodged a bullet that time. It looked like he might have gotten a call against him, but the official must have been in a very benevolent mood because he didn't drop the hanky.
Here's Septien coming in to try a field goal. Septien has kicked 15 out of 21, his longest 51 yards. This will be his first try, if indeed they do kick it. It is going to be a 47-yard attempt. Danny White holds the ball, and remember, he can throw it.
Well, he'll kick it, I'm sure of that. They want to get 3 points on the board, and then they need 2 touchdowns to get back in the game, but they've got to get this kick.
Septien kicks it, and looks like it's going to be short. It is way short into the end zone. It'll come back out to the line of scrimmage, the 30-yard line. The Eagles take over. A timeout, 3:32 remaining in the 3rd quarter. A timeout on the field with the score: the Eagles 24, Cowboys 7.
Getting back to the bowl picture in the South and the Southwest, as we said, one school that is trying to keep its options open is Purdue of the Big Ten. Now, Purdue at the moment is tied with Michigan at 6-1 in 2nd place behind Ohio State, which is 7-0. Of course, the winner of the Big Ten goes to the Rose Bowl against Southern California New Year's Day. But one of the interesting things is Purdue, which could fall into a technical tie for first place if Michigan beats Ohio State on Saturday, and Purdue can beat Indiana. Well, if that happens, they would all finish with identical records of 7-1. But Purdue has 2 losses outside the conference, and there's a league rule that says any team with more losses than the other team, inside or outside the conference, cannot go to the Rose Bowl. So that rules Purdue out. So it's got to be either Michigan or Ohio State that will go. But Purdue wants to go to a bowl game somewhere else, and they may have a chance because the school senate, the faculty senate, took a vote Saturday, and we'll have more about that later.
The Philadelphia first down, and the Eagles continue to move the Cowboys. Jaworski swings it out to Montgomery, gets to midfield, and he's out of bounds in Dallas territory at the 47-yard line.
Boy, they're doing a good job of keeping Dallas off balance.
He's got him weaving and bobbing, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. He's given him the quick shuffle here, the way he's moving the football. He's operating now from a slot formation with Carmichael and Charlie Smith on one side, Krepley on the other. And it looks like it's a passing situation, but he ran the ball the first time with great success.
Time it's the United
then he
States
came right back with a very high percentage pass, throwing one into the flat area. But that's what Dallas is a very computerized football team. They go so strongly on what they see and the scouting information that they get before they play a team. If you can deviate from what they've seen, you do, why, you've got a big advantage.
2nd down and 7 for the Eagles from the Dallas 48. Carmichael to the right. And Jaworski to Montgomery. He gets inside the 45, down near the 44, 43-yard line of Dallas before Cliff Harris got to him. With regard to the Dallas offense, and they've scored only 7 points, and they did that in the first minute of this game. Incredible that Dupree, the tight end, and Drew Pearson have not caught the ball all night, and they probably miss Preston Pearson, who hasn't played here this evening.
Yes, they miss him, I'm sure, but basically, really, you have to give Philadelphia a lot of credit. Boy, they've done a super job on defense, and are now moving the ball well offensively with a combination of the pass and the run.
It is 3rd down and 3 from the Dallas 44. The fake to Montgomery, the pass to the sideline. Caught by Smith. He's out of bounds, and he has a first down. Charlie Smith caught it for a first down at the Dallas 36. And Jaworski is just throwing here, throwing there, running here, running there, and the Cowboys are back on their heels.
Yeah, he's spraying the ball, and that's a very important thing to do against this Dallas Cowboy defense, the way they're playing here tonight.
2 minutes left in the third quarter. And the Eagles have dominated this third quarter. They got a touchdown after keeping the ball for 4.5 minutes. And they've kept the ball for about a minute and a half right now.
They got a big hole on the left side. I don't know whether they'll run there or not, but it looks like they could if they decide to run. Here they come.
Jaworski gives the ball to Montgomery. He's tripped up at the 35-yard line. He got only a yard. Good penetration that time by the defense, Dave Stalls in particular of Dallas.
Yes, the hole was there, but they didn't execute very well. You have to give Dallas a lot of credit for responding the way they did to that play from the I formation to their right side.
Montgomery is out, and Louis Jamota is in the Philadelphia backfield. A minute and a half left in the third quarter. 2nd and 9 for the Eagles from the Dallas 35. Eagles going from our left to our right and leading 24-7. Here's Jaworski taking the handoff, back to throw, throws long down the middle into the end zone, and Carmichael is about 4 steps away. It's incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 9. They had him isolated out there again, didn't they?
Yes, they did. He was wanting to throw the ball on the right side here, though, to Charlie Smith, and wound up, he was covered, so he looked back to the left side and thought he had a chance at Carmichael, but didn't succeed in getting the pass completed.
3rd and 9, the line of scrimmage is the 35. Even from here, you'd have to say the Eagles are in potential field goal range with Tony Franklin.
Yes, exactly right, the way he bombed that last one.
59 yards just before the end of the half. 3rd and 9 now. Smith and Carmichael are both to the right. The extra wide receiver is in there for the Eagles. And Jaworski is back to throw. He's in trouble. He avoids the rush and throws it away. The fans want a flag for intentional grounding, but there is none. No one was in the area, and Jaworski got away with it and avoided the sack.
And that's strictly a judgment call, and I'm surprised that they didn't call that one because there's nobody around there. Yeah, it was very obvious that he was trying to avoid a loss, and that's what the judgment call is all about, but they didn't call it there.
It is 4th down and 9 from the 35. Here's a 52-yard try by Tony Franklin. Trying to add to the 24-7 Philadelphia lead. He gets into it, and he's got a chance, and it's no good off to the left. He got it long enough, but off to the left, and it will come back out to the line of scrimmage, and the Cowboys dodge the bullet there.
He didn't hit that very well. He hit it a little bit too high on the ball, meaning that he hit it too close to the middle. The ball didn't spin properly. It didn't carry right, and that's why it didn't go straight.
The ball is at the 35. The Cowboys take over with 1:06 remaining here in the third quarter. The Eagles led 17-7 at the half. They have the only points in this third period. And Staubach tries to get his club rolling again from his own 35. Newhouse and Dorsett in the backfield. Staubach back to throw. Rush. Throws. Incomplete and almost intercepted by Reggie Wilkes. Staubach was hit just as he threw. Claude Humphrey was after him, and the pressure is intense on the Dallas quarterback.
Yes, it really is. And Tony Hill, boy, was he open on the play. Had a lot of room on the right side, but he never looked over there at all. Was trying to throw the ball on the left side. As you mentioned, Reggie Wilkes, 51, almost came up with the interception.
Cowboys have won 20 out of their last 22 regular and postseason games here at Texas Stadium. They're tough to beat here. The Eagles have a leg up on it. Here's Dorsett running right. Dips inside, goes outside, breaks the tackle, and dives out to the 39 near the 40-yard line. 50 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Cowboys are now faced with 3rd and 5 from their own 40.
Dennis Harrison goes in there now at the defensive position, or right end position, for the Philadelphia Eagles, and he's a big one.
Now we have an injured Philadelphia player being helped off the field. Looks like Carl Hairston, the defensive end. And Ken Clark is coming in to replace him. He's on his feet, but in a bit of difficulty. Well, next Monday night, we are going to be in Los Angeles, and Atlanta, even though they lost yesterday, is still very much in the hunt in that particular division, aren't they, Henry?
Yeah, they are. They've had a roller coaster ride all season long. They've lost some very close football games, but the way they play and the ability they have to throw the football and the way they play defensively when they're on, they can beat anybody.
They're fun to watch, too, aren't they?
Yes, they are. A lot of excitement.
And the Rams, stunned by the Bears, will be at home. They're trailing the New Orleans Saints by a game in the standings. Coming off the field is Carl Hairston. Appears to be in pretty good shape. Lem Burnham is in his stead. The Eagles doing great work up front defensively.
Boy, they really are.
30 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Staubach is in the shotgun on 3rd and 5. Hasn't gotten the ball to Drew Pearson all night. Nor to Dupree, his tight end. Staubach back to throw. Looks and throws, and incomplete to Drew Pearson. Aggressive defensive play by Herman Edwards on the corner, who followed him over the middle and was able to stay with him.
He made a great play. He really did. It was an inside move, but he was with him all the way. Drew Pearson had a chance to make the catch, but Edwards really did a good job of defending on the pass.
Clock stopped with 17 seconds remaining in the third quarter, and Danny White is punting. And this will be his 7th punt of the night. That's how definitely the Eagles have stopped the Cowboys tonight. Charo waits for the kick and takes it on the 21. He's back to the 25, breaks the tackle, 30, a flag is down, he's to the 40, dips outside, he's to midfield, inside the 45 of Dallas, out of bounds, and now we'll have to check the flag.
Boy, he really did a great job on the play. He was very aggressive. He saw that he had a little seam. He ran right up between the two guys who were rushing downfield. The defensive people were not under control, not in a good tackling position, and for that reason he was able to go right by him, but it looks like there's a penalty on the play.
Looks like Larry Barnes did something bad for the Eagles, and they bring the play back. The referee, Gene Barth, marks it off from the 25, half the distance back to the 12, and we'll listen.
Number 38 on the run back.
Barnes was flipping on the run back. And the Eagles are back at their 12-yard line. But 2 seconds remain in the third quarter, and the Eagles are ahead by 17, 24-7. Jaworski injured in the first half. Back in the game as Harrison Montgomery. He gives the ball to Harris. The fullback moves to the 17-yard line. And he picked up 5 yards on the play. And that's the end of the third quarter. With the score, Philadelphia 24, the Cowboys 7.
As we said, Purdue can't go to the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day as the Big Ten representative. It'll be either Michigan or Ohio State, but Purdue wants to go to a bowl game somewhere. So the school's faculty senate on Monday gave the 12th-ranked Boilermakers permission to accept a bid to play in the game prior to December 22nd. That's when the semester ends at Purdue University, and the football team usually is barred from participating in bowl games prior to the end of a semester. The unusual thing about the race in the Southeast Conference is Alabama, of course, the number one team in the country and unbeaten with a record of 9-0, but they may not go to the Sugar Bowl as the Southeast Conference champion. That role could go to Georgia's Bulldogs. Georgia has not lost a game in the Southeast Conference play. They are 5-0. But overall, their record is nothing to really write home about. They have lost 4 games all outside the conference, so they are at 5-4. And admittedly, a lot of Sugar Bowl officials are hoping that Alabama will get the position to take the championship. But if Georgia wins its final conference game next week, that's it. They win the conference championship and will represent the Southeast Conference in the Sugar Bowl. Even though they'll finish the year with a record of 6-4, hardly a record for a postseason bowl. But in the conference, they would be a perfect 6-0, and as such would represent the conference as the champion as the host team in the Sugar.
Thanks, Stram. I'm reminded that the Redskins led the Cardinals yesterday, 27-7 at the start of the fourth quarter, and darn near blew the football game.
Yes, it's been a lot of games like that all year long, and so this thing's a long way from being over, especially as explosive as the Dallas Cowboys are. They can get a lot of points on the board in a hurry.
Second down and 5 from their own 17 for the Eagles. Out of the eye, the tailback Montgomery starts up the middle, goes outside, breaks the tackle, comes out across the 20-yard line for a first down for the Eagles. Wilbert Montgomery, who went over the 1,000-yard mark in rushing, runs for an Eagle first down out to their 25. Tackled by Brunig and Larry Cole. And, of course, and there's another injured player. Looks like Charlie Smith, the wide receiver, is shaken up. Harold Carmichael commiserates with him. Montgomery can change direction in a big hurry.
Yeah, all he needs is a little seam, and if he gets a chance to get into that seam, he's tough to tackle.
He ran for 197 yards last week against Cleveland. However, fumbleitis has been plaguing him, and he fumbled in that game, and it cost the Eagles. Well, now there's a timeout. 14:41 remaining in the game. With the score, the Eagles 24, the Cowboys 7. Let's take timeout.
As we pointed out, the race in the Southeastern Conference at the moment has Alabama and Georgia deadlocked for the top spot at 5-0. And Alabama totally on the year is 9-0, and Georgia is a lackluster 5-4. Now, in other conference races, the real cliffhanger is in the Southwest Conference, where Arkansas, Houston, and Texas are all bunched close to the top. Arkansas and Houston deadlocked for the lead at 5-1, but Texas right behind at 4-1. So with 3 weeks to go in the season, Arkansas 8-1 overall, Houston 8-1 overall, and Texas 7-1 overall. Any one of those three teams could be the Southwest Conference champion, and of course with that goes the host role in the Cotton Bowl at Dallas on New Year's Day. Following Arkansas, Houston, and Texas in the conference race are Baylor at 4-2, and then Texas Tech, Texas A&M, SMU, TCU, and Rice in the cellar. No wins and 6 losses in the conference.
We're still at a halt here at Texas Stadium. 62,000 paid tonight. 65,000 tickets were sold. Hank Stram and Jack Buck with you. They're attending to Wilbert Montgomery, who was down on the deck. He carried the last time, picked up a first down to the Eagles' 25. Hank, I want to put this properly, giving all the credit to the Eagles, offensively and defensively here tonight. They really played a heck of a football game. The fans are booing. They want him to haul the player off the field, but we'll reiterate that every time there's an injured player, the officials will give all the time necessary for the player to be tended to and removed from the field.
Oh, he looks like
to say the Cowboys aren't really very good tonight, are they?
No, they're not, but one of the reasons they're not very good is the way that the Philadelphia Eagles have just taken the game away from them, Jack. They're playing with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of poise, a lot of confidence. They're making things happen. They have forced Dallas to make the mistakes that they don't usually make, and for that reason, they're winning this football game very handily at this stage of the game, 24-7, but there's a lot of time left, and a lot of things can still happen.
The Eagles just got a first down. They're at their own 25. And they haven't been sitting on the ball despite their 17-point advantage. Out they come, Gimona in the backfield. He runs with the ball rather than Montgomery. Moves to the 27-yard line and stopped by the middle of the line with Bob Brunig, the middle linebacker. Cliff Harris, the free safety, coming up to help out. It's going to be second down for Philadelphia. Clock running, 13-5-0 remaining in the contest. You know how tough Washington is to beat at home. That's where the Cowboys go next Sunday.
And the Washington, they'll be waiting for him, won't they?
Yes, sir. They'll only be a game behind if the Eagles hang on for a win here. The Eagles and the Redskins will each be a game behind if the Eagles win here tonight. Second down and 8. Jaworski back to throw. Pops it off here in the flat to Gimona. A flag goes down, and so does Louis Gimona. Down near the 28. A flag goes down. And we have holding against the Cowboys. Holding against the Eagles. Woody Peoples, evidently, the offensive guard on the right side, was called for the infraction. So rather than the pass completion out to the 28, where it would have been third down and 7, it'll be second down and 1.
Number 69 offense, holding.
Woody Peoples did it. He's been around for a while. This is his 12th year. Long time with the 49ers.
Yes, and surprising that there would be holding on that kind of a play because it was a quick, deliberate pass out of the left flat. You don't need a lot of time to get rid of the ball, so you really shouldn't have to hold.
Second down and 18. Back at their 17 for the Eagles. Carmichael comes to the left. Wide receiver Charlie Smith is to the right. Here's a quick inside handoff to Gimona. Nope, nothing doing. He gets only a couple. Jaworski spun to his right, then handed off back to his left, and Thomas Henderson was not to be fooled. He plugged the gap and stopped Gimona with the help of Larry Bethea. And it's third down and 15 for Philadelphia from their 20. But that old clock is running down, 13 minutes left. Eagles on top, 24-7. Philadelphia needs a big gainer here. Carmichael is to the left.
be surprised if they throw the ball here, Jack.
Yeah, Jaworski's going back to throw. He's sacked back inside the 10-yard line. The ball comes loose, but the play had been whistled dead back near the 5. Bruce Thornton and Harvey Martin came roaring in there.
Well, they were waiting for that one. That's why I was surprised they would try to throw a pass in that situation, because it was a passing situation, and you'd be much wiser to try to run against that pass situation, get the ball upfield as much as possible. Don't take a chance of losing the yardage. You're coughing up the football. And if you have to punt, at least you get some more breathing room.
Fans are booing the officials. They thought that the ball had come loose and the Cowboys should have it. Instead, we have Runager standing in the end zone. He'll be kicking it away. Steve Wilson out there, the Philadelphia 45. The Cowboys should have great field position. Boy, that sack might change this game around. Something the Cowboys did. A low snap. Runager gets the kick away, and Wilson takes it on the 43. He's back to the 40. Running right, stops in his tracks. That's Hill, and he is tackled there. A 34-yard punt, 7-yard return, 12:06 left, and the Cowboys in great shape. They're down to the Philadelphia 37-yard line. 12:06 left. Wilson returning the ball. He came to a dead standstill, didn't he?
He was too indecisive on the play. He should have made a decision. There was a little steam inside. He should have taken it and got them as much as he possibly could. Any time you start dancing on a return, boy, you're in trouble. The whole stadium falls in on it.
No dancing allowed, right?
That's right. Except for the ballroom.
37-yard line for the Cowboys. They have Dorsett and Newhouse in the backfield. Staubach tries to get his club rolling. He's back to throw on first down. He drops it off, and it's incomplete. Who the heck was he throwing it to? A flag goes down, and it is going to be intentional grounding there. No, I think. No. It won't be the call because only the referee is. An ineligible man downfield. That's the call.
Yep.
Ineligible man downfield. I'm surprised that doesn't happen more often when Staubach scrambles like that.
Yes, but that looked like it was supposed to be a screen pass. Or a little checkoff on the left side. It's hard to understand why somebody would be downfield. He threw it so quickly. But evidently there was a mix-up on the responsibilities of the play.
Let's listen.
Ineligible downfield, number 62 offense.
They call it on the center, Rafferty. And it is first down now back out at the Philadelphia 47. They call it on the center, John Fitzgerald. First down and 20 for the Cowboys. Another uphill climb. 12 minutes left in the game. Eagles leading 24-7. Roger Staubach back to throw. And chased out of the pocket. He's going to be sacked. He is way back at the Dallas 40-yard line by Claude Humphrey. Another injured Philadelphia player, slow in getting up. Dennis Harrison, Claude Humphrey were all over him, and Staubach is sacked. And that for Roger this evening.
They had a four-man rush that time with a linebacker blitzing, and boy, they put a lot of pressure on the five offensive linemen with four people coming. You'd think would do a better job of blocking than that, Jack, but it looked like a screen pass again the way they came through there.
Staubach was sacked for the fifth time back at the 40-yard line. And it's second down and 32 for the Cowboys. Second and 32. Rogers back to throw again. Steps up and throws it to the sideline, and it is incomplete. A diving attempt by Drew Pearson, who still hasn't caught a ball all night. And it's going to be third and 32, and Bobby Howard was covering on the corner. Hank, you mentioned earlier you're surprised they don't work in that area more.
Especially on 1st and 10. They haven't done that very much at all. They're playing a lot of zone on the strong side. But even at that, you ought to be able to get the ball in front of Bobby Howard, number 23. And here again, it's not that he isn't a good defensive back. It's just he's playing very deep. And when you're playing deep and protecting the long bomb, well, you got to be able to throw in front.
The Eagles have sacked the quarterback now 32 times this year, 5 times tonight. And it's third and 32 out of the shotgun. Staubach back to throw. Screens it out here to Dorsett across the 40, 45 to the 50. 45, 40. And down near the 37-yard line, still about 11 yards short of a first down, goes Tony Dorsett. On the screen, Bobby Howard and Bernard Wilson finally stopped him. It's fourth down, and the fans here are saying, go for it. Well, they better gamble here soon. Laidlaw comes in. The punting unit does not. It's going to be fourth down and 11 from the Philadelphia 37.
Boy, do you see the way that Dorsett took off for that open area there? He really whistled through there like he was shot out of a gun.
Staubach is 8 out of 15. 154 yards and a touchdown, 1 intercepted. He's back to throw, needs 10 yards, steps up. He is hit as he throws, incomplete, and the Eagles take over. A big rush, and these Eagle defensive linemen will not stop coming. That time, it was Dennis Harrison who got him and belted him as Staubach was unloading. The Eagles take over with 10:27 remaining in the game. A timeout on the field with a score, the Eagles 24, the Cowboys 7. Well, I'll bet the Redskins are licking their chops waiting for the Cowboys to come into RFK Stadium next Sunday, particularly if the Eagles hang on and win this one. The Cowboys have scored only 2 touchdowns in the last 14 periods of play. That's how much they've been stumbling and stalling, and they just turned it over to the Eagles on a 4th down incomplete pass. The Eagles have it at their own 37.
And they've only given up, they've given up more points in this game than they have in the last 5 games that they've played.
Here is Jaworski handing off on a delay of sorts. It goes up the middle and comes out near the 33-yard line. Bob Brunig put a stop to it as Leroy Harris ran with the ball. Montgomery was injured earlier, and Louis Jamona is in there with Leroy Harris for the Eagles. They lose a big weapon when they lose Montgomery. 10 minutes left. 2nd down and 8, Eagles. At their own 39. Going from our right to our left. Jaworski has Smith and Carmichael to his right. He's back to throw. Plenty of time. Throws, zings it over the middle. Complete across midfield to Krepley. Down inside the 40-yard line before he is stopped. Keith Krepley, who had caught 30 passes before tonight, finally stopped by Randy Hughes. And what a bullet. He looked like Sandy Koufax with that fastball.
Yeah, but he was really jammed at the line of scrimmage that time by the strong safety, Randy Hughes. He fought through the traffic, however, came across the middle. But the big challenge he had was getting off the line of scrimmage, which he did very well, and made a fine reception right into the middle areas.
Hank, as you said, if the quarterback has time to throw against Dallas, you can beat their back.
Yeah, you can. I'll guarantee you can, but you have to have pass protection. That's exactly what they're getting here tonight, and they're keeping them off balance here, especially in the second half, by the fact that they can run and throw, and they keep them off balance with a combination of run and pass.
Giamona running to the right, goes inside the 35, and then is stood up at the 33-yard line on a big hit by Bob Brunig. But now we have 8:40 left in the game, and the Cowboys are in trouble time-wise. It was tied 7-7 at the end of the quarter. The Eagles led 17-7 at the half. Eagles led 24-7 at the end of 3 periods, and that's what it is now, with 8:20 left in the game. 2nd down and 6 from the Dallas 33. Jaworski brings him out, taking a lot of time. And now time is called by Philadelphia, stopping the clock with 8:07 left in the game. And with the score, the Eagles 24, the Cowboys 7. Let's take time out.
All games in the Western Athletic Conference annually.
And Jack Buck back with you at Irving, Texas Stadium. 62,000 fans, 24-7 Eagles, 8:07 left in the game. 2nd down and 6, Philadelphia from the Dallas 33. Carmichael goes to the right, and so does Charles Smith. Roughly, the tight end, is on the left side. Montgomery checks back into the backfield. He's in the tailback out of the eye behind Leroy Harris. And on 2nd down, he takes a toss, run left, cuts it back, gets to the 30, powers down to the 28, very near a 1st down on the 2nd down carry. And Montgomery's piling up a few yards here this evening. In rushing, the Eagles in the second half have rushed for 90 yards, and the Cowboys only 10. Montgomery, 19 carries, 43 yards. He's from Abilene Christian, another Texas school, not too far from Dallas. 3rd down and 1 as a result of that jaunt, and 7.5 minutes left in the game. Philadelphia trying to ice it with a score right here. They're out in a very tight formation with Spagnola on the wing.
If they run right.
They run right, and it is Barnes carrying the ball, getting very close to 1st down yardage before Dave Stalls ended the play. Barnes bounced off of the first hit. it's going to be 4th down. They unpile. It's 4th down and about 2 feet. And Philadelphia is going to try for 3. Tony Franklin has kicked 1 field goal tonight. It was 59 yards in length. This one is going to be 45 yards. 6:54 remaining. Clock running. Franklin kicks it. It's high and looks good. It is no good. It went off to the left. So Franklin kicked the second longest ever in the history of the National Football League of 59, but missed something of a much shorter distance.
I was surprised they did that. I really, with less than a yard to go and the way they've been moving the football, I would have been more prone to just go ahead and try to ram it at them and maintain possession of the football and get the first down. The way they've been getting off the line of scrimmage, I think they could have made the 2 feet without any trouble.
The ball comes to the 28-yard line. And the Cowboys take over. 6:46 remaining in the game. They're in the I formation. Motion by Drew Pearson. Here's a delay to Dorsett. Tackled in the backfield at the 25-yard line for a loss of 3 by Ken Clark. And this offensive line of the Cowboys is being ripped apart. Let's pause 5 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS Radio Network.
This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
And it's 2nd down and 13 for the Cowboys. Hill is to the left and Pearson to the right. Dupree, the tight end on the right side, hasn't caught a ball all night. Staubach fakes the draw. Back to throw. Fakes short and airs it out downfield for Hill. Beats his man and he might score. He is at the 10. He's at the 5. He's in for the touchdown. The second of the night for the Cowboys. He beats double coverage and gets the second Cowboys touchdown of the night, 75 yards.
All he did was outrun it. There again, you talk about speed. It's hard to defend speed. I don't know what you if the quarterback has enough time to throw the football. That's what happened. They had him double covered, but he outran it because Roger had enough time to throw the ball downfield.
Defensive end Claude Humphrey slipped and fell coming in on his pass rush. Hill gets his second touchdown of the night and his 9th of the year. Tops in the NFC by the wide receivers, and we've got a ball game again. 24-13. Here is the all-important extra point with 5:56 remaining in the game. Talk about lightning. 75-yard pass play. Here's Septien kicking it. Good. A 10-point lead now is all the Eagles have with 5:56 remaining. A pause in the action with a score. The Eagles 24 and the Cowboys 14.
Having a look at the National Hockey League standings, with the season a little more than a month old, Philadelphia is off to the fastest start of any team. They lead the Patrick Division in the Campbell Conference with a 12-1-1 record. They are now on an 8-game winning streak. Atlanta is second, the Rangers are third, the New York Islanders fourth, and Washington's caps in the cellar at 4-9. The Smythe Division leader is Vancouver, followed by St. Louis, Chicago, Winnipeg, Edmonton, and Colorado. Montreal is the leader in the Norris Division. The Wales Conference, what else is new? They're 8-4-3, and it's Los Angeles, Hartford, Pittsburgh, and Detroit as the also-rans at the moment. The Adams Division leader is the Boston entry, the Bruins at 9-2-3. Then it's Buffalo, Minnesota off to a good start, Toronto, and the Quebec Nordiques. Of course, there are 4 teams in the National Hockey League this year from the old and now defunct World Hockey Association. That's how the standings go in the first month or so of the season.
Roger Staubach is 9 out of 17, 2 touchdowns and none intercepted. Danny White threw an interception here tonight. Tony Hill has caught 6 passes, 193 yards, 2 touchdowns. Septien will kick off, and Louis Jamona waits at the 5, and the Eagles want to hang on to the football. They say no fumbles, please. Here's the kickoff to Jamona at the 5, 10, 15, 20 up the middle, 25, 26-yard line. The Eagles will go from there with 5:47 remaining in the game. The Eagles had better move the ball, Hank, if they want to win it.
Yep. And, of course, the Dallas team, boy, they really have to buckle down and do a good job on defense to get the ball back for the offense. because time is an ally, of course, of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Eagles have missed 3 field goal tries here tonight. Made good of 1. Cowboys have missed a field goal attempt. Carmichael comes out to the right, to the left. Charles Smith is to the right. First down at their own 27, and the crowd whooping it up for the Dallas defense. They give it to Montgomery. He's across the 30, across the 35, and spun down at the 36-yard line. He got about 9 yards, and we must point out one negative aspect of Montgomery. He has fumbled 12 times this year, and one in a spot like this would really burn the Eagles, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would, but I must say that on the last play, Jaworski changed the play at the line of scrimmage. D.D. Lewis left his linebacker position to double cover out Carmichael on the outside. For that reason, they had 3-on-2 in that area. They took advantage of it, and he popped through there for a nice gain.
Montgomery ran for 9. 5:10 left in the game. 2nd and 1 out of the I. Harris and Montgomery. Jaworski gives to the up man, Harris, and he got only about a yard. They'll measure for a first down. D.D. Lewis was not to be fooled. He was right in the hole that Harris attempted to utilize. That was a second down carry. They're going to measure. The clock is stopped with 4:56 left. And the Eagles get a first down. A first down with 4:56 remaining, and the clock will start running as soon as they reset the sideline markers. We're under 5 minutes now. 4:50 left. First down, Eagles at their own 37-yard line. They're ahead by 10, 24-14.
The slot formation with Krepley out to the other side, or just the slot formation, has been very effective for them. They're either coming out on 1st and 10 with a slot formation.
Krepley is to the left. Here's a toss to Montgomery, running left, cuts it back upfield, gets a couple of yards, and is tracked down hard by Harvey Martin and Bob Brunig. And even though the Eagles got a first down on their most recent carries, this Dallas defense looks to be revitalized a little bit, Henry.
Yeah, they're getting off the ball a lot better.
Montgomery carried out to the 38. And it is second down and 8. 4 minutes left. Carmichael to the left, Smith to the right. On second down, Jaworski taking a lot of time before snapping the ball. Gives the ball to Montgomery in a slant over the right side. Drives across the 40, but gets only about 2 or 3 yards out near the 41, 42-yard line. Be 3rd and long for the Eagles.
Larry Bethea is in there at the right tackle position for Randy White, who has a bruised foot, I understand. Won't be back in the ball game.
Now we have 3:20 remaining. The Eagles have the ball on a key 3rd down play at their own 42. Luigi Mona is in there with Wilbert Montgomery. Jaworski again taking a lot of time. Back to throw. The blitz is on. He gets protection. The man's all alone, and the pass is overthrown. Jaworski missed Montgomery. He waited too long. Montgomery was out there waving for the ball. The offensive line had done a great job of stopping the blitz, but it's incomplete and kicking time for the Eagles.
Well, what happened on the play, he was looking desperately to hit the tight end, Krepley, who was downfield, but he didn't clear deep enough, and at the last minute he came back to try to hit the back of the flat. By that time, it was too late, and he threw the ball badly because there was too much pressure on the play.
Max Runiger, the rookie out of South Carolina, punting to Steve Wilson. Runiger kicks from his 30. Wilson standing at his 20. The clock's still running. No, excuse me, 2:57 remaining. Clock is stopped. Runiger takes his time with the kick, kicks it away to Wilson. He fields it on the 21 and starts back up the middle and is tackled at the 28-yard line. The Cowboys go from there with a 10-point deficit, 2:48 left in the game. Next week,
we'll be in Los Angeles for the Los Angeles Rams and the Atlanta Falcons. 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock Eastern Time on CBS Radio. That'll be a key battle with the Rams now trailing New Orleans and Atlanta still in it. The result of nobody really taking charge in that division. The ball is at the Dallas 28 with 2:48 left. Staubach showed how quickly he can strike the last time. He rolls right and looks to throw. Throws back to his left, pops it off to Dorsett at the 35, to the 40, has the first down at the 41. Frank LeMaster tackled it. Dallas in a hurry-up offense. Line of scrimmage is the 40. It's a first down. Staubach back to throw. Throws to the sideline. Caught by Pearson. Steps out of bounds. A gain of 6 out to the Dallas 46. First ball he's caught this evening. 2:21 remaining in the game. He can move him downfield, Hank.
Yes, he can. And Drew Pearson came into the game with 35 catches. That's the first one he's caught this evening, as you mentioned. Now he's got 36.
And it is second down and 4 from their own 46 for the Cowboys. They still have 3 timeouts left. 2:21 left in the game.
Yet an interesting stat. Tony Dorsett fumbled early in the game. From a statistical standpoint, Tony Dorsett averages a fumble every 28 times he touches the football, whether it's by run or by reception.
It costs the Cowboys here tonight. Here's Staubach with Hill in motion. Is back to throw. Gets good protection and airs it out for Drew Pearson. Way down, incomplete, out of bounds, inside the 15-yard line. Pearson had double coverage downfield. He doesn't have quite the speed that Tony Hill has.
And Tony Hill was entertaining the defensive back up front. He was wide open on the play. Roger decided to throw the ball long, but had he thrown the ball to Tony Hill, he'd have been able to make the reception and run for a big gain.
Stops the clock with 2:15 remaining. Makes it third down and 4 to go. Cowboys can't afford to misfire on this one. They're at their own 46. Out of the shotgun now on 3rd and 4.
Dorsett looks like he could be open in the left flat if he's in the pattern. He is, and he's blocking.
Here's Staubach rushing away from he throws the ball incomplete while falling and avoids the loss and avoids the sack, but it's 4th down. He tried to flip it out to Ron Springs while he was going to the deck.
Boy, they're
really 4th down, and they're going to have to go for it here, Hank.
Yes, and Dallas is really doing a very poor job of pass blocking. They've done a poor job all evening long. That time they had Dorsett on the backfield to help with the protection, but in spite of that, that meant they had 5 linemen and 1 back in the backfield, 6 on 3 or 6 on 4, and they don't succeed in doing a good job.
This might be the game right here. 2:09 left. Eagles leading by 10, 24-14. 4th down and 4 from their own 46 for the Cowboys. They desperately need a first down out of the shotgun. The snap to Staubach. He's back to throw. He looks fake short. Throws to Dorsett on a screen. He gets the first down across midfield. Down inside to the 40-yard line of Philadelphia before he's stopped. 2 minutes left. First down, Dallas at the Eagle 40 when we resume. A timeout on the field with a score. The Eagles 24, the Cowboys 14.
Don't go away. You know, it might have sounded confusing before when we were talking about the Georgia-Alabama situation in the Southeast Conference race. Here it is in a nutshell. It's Sugar Bowl or bust for Georgia, but the Bulldogs hold the key to a number of other bowl lineups as well. Georgia can simplify the situation by beating Auburn this Saturday. That will give the Bulldogs at least a share of the Southeast Conference championship and an automatic Sugar Bowl berth, and leave top-ranked Alabama free to decide whether it would rather play in the Orange or the Cotton Bowl. However, a Georgia loss Saturday, which would be no upset since they've already lost 4 games this year, could cause all sorts of problems, especially for Alabama. The Orange and the Cotton Bowls must figure that at the point that Alabama is going to beat Auburn December 1st and earn that Sugar Bowl spot. Well, since a Georgia loss Saturday would put the Bulldogs at 5-5, there is no way a bowl is going to make any sort of either-or deal with the Southeast Conference contenders and wait and see who can come up with the best record.
Hank Stram, Jack Buck with you from Texas Stadium. These Cowboys aren't through yet.
Now, they've got a lot of firepower. They can score quickly, and with 2 minutes left, they pull a lot of games out. It would have to be a miracle for them to do it here tonight. But you can't count them out till it's all over, Jack, as you know.
They did it last week against the Giants. They moved the ball with 1 minute and 49 seconds remaining for a score that won the game over New York by the score of 16-14. And they have a record of 8-2. The Eagles are 6-4, trying to get within a game. The Cowboys set to go now from the 40 of the Eagles, first down out of the shotgun. Saldi is in as a wide receiver. Staubach back to throw. As time throws over the middle, caught by Hill at the 20. Tackle there. It's another first down. Tony Hill went high in the air and caught the ball. Linebackers were back there. The extra defensive back, Shara, was also helping out. Hurry-up offense.
They've got Dorsett on the wing back. They did on the last play. They're so concerned about Dorsett that they gave Hill an open opportunity the last time.
Here's Staubach. Chase throws, and it's caught at the 5-yard line for another first down for Dallas. with 1:26 remaining and timeout is called by Dallas. They'll have another first down. That was Pearson who shook loose over the middle. Caught it at the 5. 1:26 left, first and goal, Dallas from the 5-yard line. And with the score, the Eagles 24, the Cowboys 14. Let's take time out.
Now, with the situation again with Alabama and Georgia, with bowl bids legal this coming Saturday at sundown and the Alabama-Auburn game 2 weeks away, don't expect any major bowl committees to wait for Alabama on the off chance that Auburn might upset the Crimson Tide and return the Sugar Bowl berth to Georgia. The Sugar Bowl, of course, would rather have Alabama. The other bowls will be pulling for Georgia to win Saturday and giving them a crack at getting Alabama to come their way. If Georgia wins, look for the Bulldogs to be paired against Pittsburgh on New Year's Day in New Orleans. The nationally ranked Panthers appear on their way to a 10-1 season, which would be their best since 1976 when they won the national title by beating Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. Sugar Bowl officials have figured on inviting Notre Dame prior to last Saturday, but the Irish dropped out of contention as they suffered their third loss of the season, and that was a very, very costly loss. They were belted by Tennessee, humiliated down in Knoxville is the word, 40-18. Well, don't count Dallas out yet. If they can get in the end zone in a hurry and get an onside, who knows what happens.
Ron Springs who caught that last pass to the 5-yard line, making it first and goal. Tony Hill has caught 7 passes, 213 yards. That's the best performance in the NFC this year by a wide receiver. And the 4th best in Dallas history. First and goal. In the I formation with Laidlaw and Dorsett. Not much time for the Cowboys. They trail by 10. Staubach back to throw. Starts to run, throws. Incomplete. Incomplete. He had 3 receivers in the end zone. It looked like for a moment he could have sprinted into the end zone, Henry, but he must have seen something that I couldn't see for up here because he stopped and threw.
Yeah, there must have been some kind of a blur because it looked like in his vision, because it looked like he had a chance to run right up the middle and maybe go all the way, but you don't know what he saw on the left side as he was trying to make that move.
1:22 remaining in this game. Rodgers 16 out of 25, 307 yards, 2 touchdowns, second and goal from the 5. Drew Pearson is to the left, Tony Hill is to the right. And on second down, Staubach back to throw, looks, throws, end zone, touchdown! Billy Joe Dupree catches his first pass of the night, and it's good for a TD.
Billy Joe came into the game with 25 catches. Took a long time. The game was almost over before he got one tonight, but he caught a big, very important catch here to put him back in this football game. The score now is 24-20.
24-20, and Septien had better not miss this extra point or they'll run out of town. 24-20. Danny White will hold the ball. Septien will try to make it a 3-point game. The ball is spotted by White. The kick is good. 24-21. You think we'll see an onside kick?
Yes, they have to onside kick it, Jack.
72 yards, 8 plays, a minute and 29 seconds. He can really move them with 5:56. Let's say 6 minutes remaining. Dallas scored, and they just scored again with 1:19 remaining. They came alive here in the 4th quarter. The Eagles, meanwhile, haven't scored in this 4th quarter. Not that they've got conservative. The Dallas defense just came alive a little bit, didn't they?
Yes, they did. They really came to life, as you mentioned, and really control the line of scrimmage, and that's what they had to do, and that's exactly what they did.
Each team has 2 timeouts remaining in this game. Septien will kick, and everybody in the park is expecting an onside kick. The Eagles have only 1 man deep. That's Louis Giamona. 24-21. The Cowboys will try to get the ball and get it close enough for the tying field goal and set it up for overtime.
He's going to kick it to the left, an onside kick left.
Cowboys are stacked over on the left side. Septien, a soccer-style kicker, checks the alignment and now kicks it. And it is recovered by Philadelphia, comes loose again, and the Eagles have it. The Eagles have the ball, and very good hands were displayed by the defensive back, Herman Edwards. The ball came right to him at the Dallas 44. To the Dallas 44. There's a good grab by Edwards, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. He was sure-handed on that play.
1:19 remaining in the game. Cowboys will be able to stop the clock. They have 2 timeouts remaining. The Eagles want to move it. They need a first down or 2 to assure the win, and they've got to hang on to the football. Here's Jaworski giving to Montgomery a slant on the right side. He drives down to the 41-yard line. And the Cowboys call timeout. 1:12 remaining. Montgomery to the 41. The play took 7 seconds. A first down would assure it for the Eagles and put them within 1 game of the Cowboys. If, however, they have to turn it over, Dallas will have some time. That is, without a first down, Dallas will have some time to get back within field goal range. Some game, eh? Good one, huh?
Yes, it is. Just super, and of course, it's typical of what can happen anytime you have a great team like the Dallas Cowboys. As far as the explosive ability they have, they can make something happen anytime they play, regardless of when it is in the game. And they've done a great job of coming back here. But you have to give Philadelphia a lot of credit for playing the kind of a game they played, especially when they were stunned early in the game. They came back, maintained their poise, and just took it away from Dallas right here at home.
And it would be a shame if they couldn't hang on and win, because they played very hard. Of course, Dallas is now alive, alert, and really on top of the situation, but still trailing by 3. Philadelphia, an underdog by more than a touchdown coming in. They are faced with 2nd and 7 from the Dallas 41. They're going from our right to our left. 1:12 remaining. The clock will start with a snap of the ball. They give to Montgomery. Drives inside the 40-yard line. Goes down to the 37, and a timeout is called by Dallas again. And now Dallas has no more timeouts remaining, and Philadelphia will have 3rd down and 2.5. We want to be accurate in this spot. 3rd down and 2.5 from the 36.5-yard line of Dallas.
And they've got 2 downs to make the 2.5, Jack.
Yeah, they don't have to punt the ball. No more timeouts for the Cowboys. 1:08 left in the contest. For the sake of clarity, we'll call it the 37-yard line of the Cowboys. The timeout is in effect at the moment. 3rd down and 3, more like 2.5, as Jaworski went to the bench to talk to Dick Vermeil. The Eagles tonight look like a playoff-type football club, don't they?
Yes, the way they played here tonight. Really, I'm very surprised that they were able to do what they did here tonight against Dallas, especially after losing 3 games. But you have to give them a lot of credit for bouncing back like they did and doing the kind of a job they've done here tonight.
They need 2.5 yards in this 3rd down play to keep the football. Jaworski sets his club. Jaworski gives to Montgomery. Goes outside, gets the first down, and he might score. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, and that's it for the Eagles with 1:01 left. Montgomery started inside and went outside. 36 yards for a score. That'll put him close to 100 yards. 1:01 remaining as the Eagles up their lead to 30-21. Montgomery tonight went over the 1,000 mark, and now tonight he's over 100 yards, 120 on 25 carries. That was a shocker.
Boy, it really was. As the I formation, they had a flanker to the right. They went right over the left side. He started inside. That's the great thing about the I formation. However, because you can change direction so well, because your shoulders are square to the line of scrimmage, that's exactly what happened. He hit inside, bounced outside, and it was all over.
Tony Franklin tries to give the Eagles the 10-point lead. The ball is spotted and kicked. It is good. It's 31-21. And the Eagles will kick it off with 1:01 remaining in this football game. They're shaking hands on the sideline, patting each other on the shoulders and the back, congratulating themselves. And I guess they're allowed to do that at this stage, wouldn't you say, Hank? 10-point lead, 1:01 left.
There's got to be a time when you got to be happy about what you do, and if you can't do it with a minute and 1 second left with this kind of a cushion, a 10-point cushion, you're really in trouble. But there's definitely a lot of happiness in the air.
The Eagles, well, can we be as presumptuous as the Eagle Football Club is? Let's say that Dallas loses, they'll be 8-3, and going to Washington next week. The Eagles will be at home against the Cardinals. Philadelphia 7-4, Washington 7-4, Giants 5-6, St. Louis 3-8 in the Eastern Division of the NFC. This is quite a capper for another wild weekend of NFL football.
Goes right back to what we say, and this is what makes the game such a great game. You know, the better team doesn't always win, and the unpredictability of it is really fantastic.
Franklin will kick it off. Ron Springs is deep along with Steve Wilson. There's the kick high down to Springs at the 8. Up the middle, 10, 15, 20-yard line, 25, 30, 35, breaks the tackle, goes to the 40. Goes out to the 42-yard line, and the whistle finally stops the play with 51 seconds remaining in the contest. The Cowboys have no timeouts. That was a 34-yard return by Springs. A shocking touchdown run by Wilbert Montgomery the last time the Eagles had the ball. Cowboys are at their own 42. 51 seconds remaining and no timeouts left. Eagles specialty teams, their offensive line, their defensive line, all did yeoman work here tonight. Montgomery rushed for 120 yards. Staubach in the shotgun. Three-man rush by the Eagles. They play a little game. Staubach has time, throws to the sideline. It's caught at the 42, and the man cannot get out of bounds. And the clock continues to run. Dorsett caught it. But there was a gain of only, no gain on the play. About a half a yard. 29 seconds remaining. And Staubach trailing by 10. Back to throw again. Looks, throws, dumps it off to Springs. He runs inside. He's tackled at the 49, and the clock continues to run. He should have gotten out of bounds, but it's really academic because the Cowboys just aren't going to pull this one out. 9 seconds remaining. They line up for another play with 6 seconds remaining. Staubach is back to throw. He looks, runs. Time is expired. Staubach goes out of bounds at the 35, and this game is over. The Eagles have done it. The end of the game between the Eagles and the Cowboys. The final score, Philadelphia 31, Dallas 21.
Well, our thanks to Jack Buck and Hank Stram for their description of what turned out to be a big night for the Philadelphia Eagles and a very happy Dick Vermeil and his coaching staff on the sideline. So the situation in the NFC East is much closer than a lot of people figured. Dallas was a strong choice to win this game on their home turf, but Philadelphia, which shouldn't surprise anybody with their performance, because remember, this is the same team that about 5 weeks ago upset the mighty Pittsburgh Steelers, then went into a nosedive, losing a couple, but they bounced back in this game with a great performance, and that clinching touchdown run by Wilbert Montgomery now means that Dallas's record is 8-3, Washington is 7-4, Philadelphia is 7-4, and anything can happen with still 5 games remaining on the schedule. You just never know. That's a long, long way to go yet. And Washington and Philadelphia, I'm sure, are not only looking for the wild card spot, but now they both feel, they have to feel, that off their recent play, they both have an excellent shot at winning the division championship. Dallas travels to Washington next week. Philadelphia will entertain St. Louis on Sunday. So it could be very interesting. By the end of next Sunday, we could have a real logjam at the top, possibly a 3-way tie for the lead. Again, the final score, Philadelphia 31, Dallas 21. George Balamacy speaking. This has been a presentation of AFRTS Sports in Washington.